through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners take to the road after taking 4 in a row from the Houston Astros, looking to stretch it to 5 against, record-wise, the hottest team in the National League. The San Diego Padres have won 5 in a row. Mariners in town for 3 against the Padres starting tonight. They send Brian Wu to the hill. He faces off against Michael King. You're going to catch all of the action of that one starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We're back home again, Dave. Feels like it's been a while since we've been in studio.
Yeah, where have we been?
We've been out at Victory Hall, or as you like to call it, Independence Hall. We've been out at T-Mobile Park. And, yeah.
Couldn't come up with it.
Yeah,
VMAC, that's right.
We've been on our world tour, and now we're
Yeah.
back in studio, which makes Matt very happy.
Just thrilled.
Do you see
So
the
great to
joy
have
on
you
his
back.
face?
Did you like that Bob left me hanging yesterday when I said, we were out at,
Independence Hall?
the hall out there, and he was just like, he was going to let me
Yeah, I said,
figure it out.
You'll find it. I'm just gonna let you hang here. You'll find it. And then he bailed on it. He just went, that place. Anyway,
I surrendered.
yeah, he did. So we got a lot to get into today. Rowland-Smith will join us at 3 o'clock for his weekly conversation. CharliesFurbush will join us in studio at 4 o'clock for an hour, as he does each and every week. And then it being Tuesday, El Hombre, Michael Bradley at 5 p.m. So stay tuned for all of that. Big stuff coming your way. Hopefully everybody's feeling good, excited about the Mariner game tonight, game 1 against the Padres, who, in terms of win streaks, are the hottest team in baseball. 5-game win streak. So this is going to be a big test for this team.
This is a big test. And, you look at the pitching that we just, came away from there, Houston, not good.
Awful.
Not good at all. So now all of a sudden you're facing San Diego pitching, which they're top 10 in a lot of categories like strikeouts, number 7 as far as fewest walks, number 7 ERA team. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting test, seeing if it was really because of that Houston pitching, or are the bats coming alive?
I think it's both. I think
That's a boring answer,
but I think both are kind of true. I think it's when you ask that question, you guys can text in, by the way, at 866-979-3776. Was what we saw in that 4-game sweep. If you were going to divide up the pie that we always throw out there, the credit, what do you give more credit to? Mariners offense starting to find their rhythm. That's what a good team does to a bad team. You beat up on them. Or do you look at the Astros and go, man, they're just riddled with injuries. Their ace, Hunter Brown, is down. This guy is down. Pena leaves in the middle of the game. Imai now is now on the IL. He lasts a third of an inning. I mean, they're beleaguered with injuries. So that's why they played the way they did. Was it more about who the Astros are versus who the Mariners are? Where do you give the credit? And I do think it's a little of both. And I do appreciate, and this will be a rare statement from me, Dave, I appreciate what Carlos Correa said. I appreciate his demeanor after the game. He was interviewed after the finale yesterday, and there was a reporter saying, well, hey, the injuries, and how do you guys, obviously that led to this. And he was kind of like, no, I'm not blaming injuries. We're just playing garbage baseball. Used a different word. We're just playing poorly.
Yeah, I hated that because
you respected it.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And just he's a very articulate guy, and just the way I don't know. I like
still a cheater.
I know. I like to think of him as a cheater. Him and Altuve both. But yeah, he was absolutely right. And yeah, to answer the question, I mean, I think on Sunday that one really. I mean, you look at Cody Bolton, was their starter in the Sunday game, went 1 inning, 2 earned runs. He had 1 strikeout, but he walked 4. And then, Murray comes in relief, and he pitches 2 innings, and then, he walks 3 batters and gives up a couple of runs. And I just looked at their pitching was just awful. Just awful.
Yeah.
But, I still don't think that, I think they still proved some things to themselves, I think, the Mariner hitters, and particularly Josh Naylor. But, yeah, I mean, this will be an interesting test, like I said, because San Diego, some good pitching numbers right now. And, it's just going to be entirely different. So is it more about the Mariners finding their way, or is it more about, the crappy pitching that they were facing with the Houston Astros? So, yeah, this is going to be a big one. I think maybe one of the more pivotal games that we've seen this year.
Yeah, I'm going to lean more toward what the Mariners did. Yeah, I'm not making a case. The Astros are a bad team. In fact, record-wise, they're the worst team in baseball right now, and amongst the worst rotations in baseball. So, yeah, that is a thing that has an impact. But knowing that going in, and you could very easily see guys in that lineup for the Mariners, and we talked about it. They were the worst hitting team in baseball. They were number 30 in average and OPS and slug and number 29 in run. I mean, they're just at the bottom of the league in every offensive category. And we talked about them missing in the strike zone. And we'd also talked about them chasing and forcing things. Knowing you've got a rotation coming in that was just not good, even though Imai is a guy, or what did we learn is the proper way to say it, Lefko?
Oh, Amai.
Yeah.
Amai.
He was thought to be a very good pitcher. You knocked him out after a third of an inning. But more importantly, you saw, from my perspective, you saw a lot of patience up there where guys could go, man, I haven't had an extra base hit. That would be Julio. That'd be Naylor. Nothing's going my way. I've had nothing but singles. My average is in the tank, and this is a team I'm going to get well on. So you could see them just being eager and maybe chasing rather than letting it come to them, rather than letting those guys hurt themselves, driving up the pitch count, taking those walks. Would they have 26, 27 walks in total?
Yeah,
in the 4-game series.
They only had one.
27.
27
yesterday.
walks.
Also, only 1 walk yesterday.
Yeah.
So they had 26 over the weekend. So
showing that kind of patience,
I think you're
when
right.
you knew you were going up against it, and you could easily see them getting over anxious, going, okay, these guys are going to try to get right because they've been giving up all these runs and they've been walking guys. So I'm going to jump on that first pitch fastball. I'm going to be aggressive. And you saw the opposite. You saw them take their walks. You saw that patience up there, and you let them bury themselves. So that to me just talked about their approach and their mental, just where they are at mentally. And to me, coming out of this is nothing but good. Doesn't mean you're going to go out there and sweep the Padres. This is going to be a tough series. Yeah. This is going to be and then you got 2 crucial series right after that. You got 3 against the Rangers. Dave, you broke it and you didn't even touch it.
Did you see that? Did you guys see that? The
The
microphone just fell over. It
As soon as
surrendered.
Dave looked at it, and it just went.
I wasn't even touching the desk.
You better fix it before Charlie gets here.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? He's going to take your mic.
Yeah. We'll get it worked out. But you got 3 against the Rangers, who you did not play well against. So this is going to be an interesting situation to see. All right, well, now that the Mariners have come off of this positive stretch, how does that translate? How do they look against this team that just had their way with you?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. And then you get the first look at the A's, who we talked about being a problem. So far, they're kind of a problem.
Yeah.
They're sitting there atop the division with the Rangers right now, and it's early, and this is all going to fluctuate. But this stretch of games is a fantastic measuring stick for this team right now.
Yeah, especially coming off what they were coming off as far as offensively, and I think you're right about that. The walks really demonstrated something, and one of the things I think it demonstrated is that there was no panic.
Yeah.
It wasn't time, because we were talking about, do they have the player only meeting or whatever? They just stayed the course. And you're right. I mean, with that crappy pitching, you would have, seen a desperate team would have been, swinging it at pitches that are outside of the zone, trying to get right. And instead, they did it the right way. So you can see that there was no panic. that, hey, let's just let the game come to us. We know we're a good team. We know we're good hitters, and let them bury themselves. And that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, that kind of indicated, to me anyway, that this wasn't a big panic situation where it's like, oh, man, we need to change things. We need to do this. We need to do that. No, they just stayed the course and let them bury themselves.
Yeah.
So,
and the other part, in that Texas series, they scored 3 total runs. Yeah. 3 runs in 3 games, the Mariners did. They got shut out once.
Yeah.
It was terrible. You scored 29 in this series combined. Again, I understand different rotation, different dynamics, but it's just to see them come to life, show some patience. More importantly, seeing the guys we've been putting the spotlight on go, when is Julio going to get it going? When is Naylor going to get it going? They got it going in this series. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that carries over. But Dan Wilson, after the game yesterday, said, from his perspective, you're starting to see this team play really well in all facets of the game.
We talk a lot, in terms of our offense and being a lineup against a pitcher. And when you got all cylinders firing, that's the best. But it's a baseball season, so you're not going to have all cylinders at all times. And but to see these guys, get to where they want to be. I think that the swings are getting so much better, that they're getting in better counts. Just the contact they're making, the quality of contact has been so much better. These guys are in a really good spot, and I think that's where we want to be as this year starts to roll on, and it could be any one of our guys 1 through 9 that could strike and be the hero in the ball game, and so that's what we're looking for, and it's really good to see everybody in that spot.
Yeah, and that's the leadership that you saw from Dan Wilson. And again, lots of speculation, after that, particularly the Texas series, where you're like, oh man, I hope that there's not going to be some kind of panic or whatever. And I think that, for a lot of fans, they were, their expectations were high. But like Dan said, just let it come to them. I thought it was also interesting, kind of a little behind the scenes. Yesterday, we were trying to get Cal Raleigh, and couldn't get him. To interview because he was
you were there. He didn't want to talk.
Oh, he didn't want to talk to me. Yeah. Well, I thought we were.
Yeah, he looked over. He was like, "Is it Wyman Bob?" No, I can't.
Said that Wyman guy's creeping me out, man.
Yeah, but he thinks you're Wyman.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, he thinks I'm Bob.
That's right.
Just because I'm older and it's kind of an old school name.
He thinks Bob's an old man name, so he thought that you were Bob.
No, but Mike was, trying to get him for us, and he was talking to Cole Young, and they were
a half an hour.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think that's really cool, and especially like you would think you would see that kind of scene after, one of the games in Texas, and maybe they did. Maybe they did have a conversation like that, but it was just really cool after having that much success, and it was a really, happy environment down there in the clubhouse or the locker room, as Cal would call it. But yeah, I mean, you like that they're still working on things even after that, and I like to think, they're like, hey, that's exactly what we needed to do against that pitching staff. And yeah, the 26 walks in 3 games is just phenomenal. And then like you said, they end up putting up almost 30 runs on the Houston Astros
after scoring 3.
Yeah.
In the final game of that series, they got shut out. They had 2 hits. I mean, you left Texas going, what in the world, man? I know it's early.
Yeah.
Not bailing on the season, but that was dreadful. That was dreadful. So to see that completely flip the script and 180, I mean, just, and we were asking, and people, you can text in 866-979-3776. Do you attribute what we saw more to the Mariners starting to find their way, or do you say, well, the pitching was just so awful that, yeah, it was more about the pitching? 206 said 75% Astros pitching was straight booty cheeks. 25% Mariners bats. I've never seen so many walks in a series.
Yeah.
All right, 75-25. It's a little of both. 509, it was both. The crap pitching helped. I still think we left way too many runners on that did not score. Good vibes going into this series. Hopeful, Doug in Spokane. Pete in Bellingham said it's the Astros. Anytime you can kick their butts, it's great. And the 425 said, looks like somebody paid the Etsy witch again. Go Mariners. So, yeah. You
What's
guys,
the reference there, please?
what was the last year somebody paid an Etsy witch to put a spell on it and for
in the
good
midst
fortune
of
for the Mariners?
those struggles in August, they tried to change the luck. So there are a couple things that happened, and someone asked an Etsy witch to help lift the voodoo off the Mariners.
Okay,
and
I'm
it
sorry.
supposedly worked.
Etsy is a website.
What's an Etsy witch?
Etsy is a website.
Okay.
So they
And a
found
witch is a... No.
Know what a witch is.
Apparently, there was a witch on there offering her services, and somebody paid the said witch to,
Gotcha.
Cast some good spells on the Mariners.
Okay, it makes perfect sense to me now.
Yeah. Now it seems like normal. Come on. Everybody does that. But you guys can text in on that, 866-979-3776. More about the Mariners coming to life, or was it more about the Astros just stinking out loud right now? And Jeff Passan was talking about the Astros, and he was saying some people think the Astros will be one of the worst teams in baseball this year.
I'll say this, and this person who I was talking with is a little bit predisposed to hating on the Astros. So take this for what it's worth. But he said to me, I worry that the Astros are going to lose 100 games this year because their pitching is that bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was rough. And it wasn't just Brian Abreu either, getting Tatsuya Mai on the injured list this week, adding to what's already a list that's pretty deep with Hunter Brown and Josh Hader and others on it. The Astros just don't have pitching.
Jeff.
The Mariners thankfully do.
He was trying to interrupt him, and Jeff wouldn't have it. I love it. I love it. And look, if we're going to be on it, you want to dissect the Astros schedule. They lose the opening series, or split the opening series with the Angels, who are currently sitting, in a better position than we thought they would be.
Yeah.
But nobody expects them to be there. So you're looking at them as not a great team. Boston is off to a terrible start. They swept Boston. And they were putting up a ton of runs, 8 runs, 9 runs, 11 runs. So talking about the Astros. So they got off to a huge start offensively, but they're doing it against teams you're going, all right. Mariners, meanwhile, were playing good teams and continue to play good teams until they ran into the Astros, and now they're going to face the Padres and the Rangers and the A's. So you could argue they built up that offense and made it look better against weaker competition.
Yeah.
We'll see if that ends up being true.
Yeah, well, and just to support your point, I mean, you look at the offense and what they came in here with. The Houston offense was really good. They were rolling.
Yeah, but they did it against, again, kind of suspect competition.
Exactly. But, yeah, they were number 1 or number 2 and, average, on-base percentage, slug, all of that. So, yeah, this was a good offensive team, and we handled them. So, that's the other encouraging thing about it. But, yeah, mostly I think is your point that you made, that they could have gone out there and started, swinging out of their shoes, chasing pitches, and they did it by just being patient. So that's a cool message, I think, that came from Dan. And meanwhile, a couple of guys like Josh Naylor especially got his confidence back.
Yeah,
not that he ever lost it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Julio and it's Naylor in this series because neither had an extra base hit. Right. Coming into the hits that they did have, which were not many, were all singles. So you saw Julio in the same game get his first extra base hit with a double, followed that with his first home run. Naylor didn't have an extra base hit until yesterday's game. And then he comes up with 2 home runs, drives in 5, and you're going, okay, is this where these guys both take off? I mean, Julio right now, it's modest. It's a 4-game hit streak. He's had multiple hits 3 games in a row. So he's had 7 hits in his last 4 games. Julio's, at least right now, he's finding it. Naylor, it's 1 game. Are we believing that, okay, these guys are ready to turn the corner? Julio's giving you more evidence. It's been 1 game for Josh, but are you believing that, okay, they're breathing a sigh of relief. They're going to be relaxed up at the plate. They kind of got the monkey off their back, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that those are 2 to watch. And I think it's also incredibly encouraging that Julio is where he is right now.
Yeah.
Because, that's just been his problem all along. I had to check my phone to make sure that this wasn't Michael Bumpus, the one that said straight booty cheeks. Sounds like something Bump would say.
Always going to make me laugh. Always. But I want to play two cuts from Naylor here quickly, but because if the fan base didn't already love him, which they already do, we already know that. I mean, he has got such an appreciation for this fan base. Here's what he said about the fans yesterday.
Oh, they're awesome. They're unbelievable. Like, I remember, I think maybe a few days ago, hit a line drive and got out, and I was like over 3 so far on the day, and I heard some fan, and I try to block out a lot of things, said, but I heard some fan, oh, keep your head up, you're good, you're the best, and it's like, damn, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not the best right now, but I do appreciate that. This fan base is so awesome. They're just through it with you through the whole entire season, the ups and the downs, and when you're up, it's even better because this place is electric. You can feel like the energy in the ground go through your body. It's so cool. They're so loud, enthusiastic, supportive, and you can't not love Seattle fans. I mean, they're the best.
I mean, the fan base already loved him.
Yeah.
He says things like that, and they're genuine. Again, he's a different guy. He's not a guy who says things for...
No.
He doesn't pander.
Everything he says is the truth.
It really is. And when you see his face, that's what tells you, like, this is genuine. This is what he's thinking. And then one more quickly. He explains why he gave away a signed pair of cleats to a fan before the game yesterday.
I won't get the same pair. I think I wore those in the first series. One of the fans messaged my wife, and I think it was one of his friends who was getting married, and said, "Oh, we're coming to the game. We're doing the bachelor party in Toronto. We'd love to meet your husband." Blah blah blah. So I signed a pair of cleats for him, and wish him good luck in his marriage and congratulations and all that. So I mean, it's just a little gesture, like just. I think I've talked about this before, like those little acts of kindness, like you could kind of change the world with it. You can make someone's day, which if you make their day, they can make someone else's day. It's a trickle-down effect, like a pay-it-forward type of thing. I'm a big believer in making people happy.
Come on, man. Come on.
This guy is such a gem, man.
Seriously.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you not love that guy?
Yeah.
I mean,
and also he just signs a huge contract. And, he's supposed to be the savior coming in here and all that and all the pressure and everything on him. And I feel like in every other Major League Baseball city, there'd be like a guy that was screaming, "Hey, why don't you do what you're paid for?" or something like that.
I mean, can you imagine what they'd say to him in Philly?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that was really cool. Really cool. So we'll talk more about that. You guys can weigh in on the text line. Meanwhile, let's take two.
Oh, roster move for the Mariners earlier today. They put Rob Refsnyder on the paternity list and called up Patrick Wisdom, who has just been mashing down at AAA. 9 home runs in 15 games. He leads all minor league hitters in home runs.
And he's not a young guy. He's 34, I believe. He has more home runs than anybody in all of the minor leagues, all levels. He is crushing. Now, this is a former big leaguer who's had success at the big league level, who's feasting on that pitching down there. He's in the PCL. Take it for what it is, but he's done it at this level. And I'm excited to see him up here because, and with all due respect to Refsnyder, he doesn't have a hit yet.
Yeah.
He's got a nice catch in the outfield.
He did.
But he hasn't done what he was brought up to do, and that's mash lefties. Maybe he will. But I'm happy for Patrick Wisdom, who at his age, his experience could say, you know what, I'm good. I'm not going to play in the minors. And he's just down there raking right now. So maybe he can come up here and just be a little extra pop.
Yeah, he's definitely working on things down there, right, at AAA. But he's doing exactly what a big league hitter should do at AAA, right? So, I don't discount that at all.
All right, well, taking a look at the Mariners' next 2 opponents. They're actually playing each other. They began a series last night in Sacramento. The Rangers snapped the A's 5-game win streak with an 8-1 win. We have a really good pitching matchup tonight. Mackenzie Gore goes to the Rangers, and Jeffrey Springs, who's part of that kind of resurgent A's stretch where they shut down the Yankees and the Mets, took a no-hitter into the 7th against the Yankees. He's pitching tonight for the A's.
Yeah, I just hope they take turns beating up on each other, getting into each other's bullpens, wearing each other out as much as possibly they can before the Mariners meet. I don't know if there's going to be a lasting effect, but Yeah, you're just rooting for casualties.
There you go. Just total destruction.
That's exactly right. Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. It's a never-ending question for baseball teams, and we're going to dive into how this particular one affects the Mariners. We'll get into that next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First. You've heard me talk about them. PCF Construction Group. People come first. And if you've been dreaming of a new deck, well, now is the time to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor space year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, get 50% off demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. You know, they designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they take time. So don't wait another day. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You want to weigh in on the Mariners' 4-game sweep, or the mop, as they were calling it yesterday?
Somebody said it's not a mop because you would mop the dirt and the grass and it would be a mess.
Okay. You're getting into the minutia of it. I think you're saying you mop the floor with them. Come on. Let's have some fun with it. Whatever you want to call it. You took all 4 from the Astros. Do you say in your mind that's more about the Mariners starting to find their rhythm, or was it more about the Astros pitching is just horrible? Which is it? Which do you give more credit to? You guys can text that in at 866-979-3776.
I think you changed my mind on that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not going to celebrate too much because the pitching is so crappy. But they did it the right way. They let it come to them. They let them basically, shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I mean, they beat 2 of their regular start. I mean, Imai, whichever way you want to say it, took him out at 3rd of an inning. You beat Lance McCullers. It's not like they were all schmageggies. So, look, if they went out there and lost to those guys, then you'd really be going, I can't believe you got beaten by these guys. So you did what you were supposed to, and you did it in grand fashion. So we'll see what they do. But, one of the things we've been talking about, Dave, is, well, what do they do when Bryce Miller returns? Well, he's expected to be back with the team for the homestand coming up, not pitching, but just be back in town. Presumably he'll be sent down to AAA to make some rehab start, maybe a couple. I'm not sure what the plan is. So I still don't think we see him on the mound until May. But playing out the hypothetical, we've been just talking about, what does that mean to Hancock? What does that mean to Hancock? What do you do? Is he back in the bullpen? What do you do? Now, if we take that hypothetical a little further and say, all right, let's assume Hancock continues to roll, continues to pitch well. Right now his ERA is just a touch above 2, right? His first 2 starts were brilliant. Last one, he gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. That was more of what we were kind of expecting him to be. Like, hey, give me 5 and 3 or less. I'm good.
All right.
We'll see what he ends up being, and this could be a moot point because maybe the wheels come off. Who knows? But let's just hypothetically say he continues with what he's been. Bryce Miller comes back healthy. But then let's say Luis Castillo continues with who he's been. should the spot in the rotation in question not be Hancock, but Castillo? Now, he's the long-tenured guy. He's the rock. He's the guy who's been there. Last year, he was your most durable pitcher. He was good last year. And maybe this is just a little speed bump, but just playing out the hypothetical. If that's the case, let's just say he continues to struggle, because you look at his last 2 starts on the 5th of this month against the Angels, he lasted 3 2/3 and gave up 3 runs. His last start against the Astros, he goes 3 1/3, gives up 10 hits and 7 runs. He was brutal. So his last 2 starts, he has not been good. He's got an ERA right now of 6.92 in those last 2 starts. So first start was great. And again, maybe it's just a speed bump and he gets back to being himself in his next start. We'll see. But I'm just playing out the hypothetical, saying, all right, well, what kind of patience or slack or grace do you have with him? Because he does have the resume. He is the rock. He is the guy that you spent capital on to bring here. He's the guy you signed to an extension, highest paid player on a yearly value on this team. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I just, it's a great question. I don't know, with Bryce Miller, I don't know that he has done enough to replace Luis Castillo, just because Luis has done it for so long, for 10 years, and he's posted. I mean, how many times? I think there's twice that he has led the league in games started. He's just always there.
Yeah.
And, you look at his ERA, it was under 3 a couple of years, but it's going to get you somewhere between 3 and 4. That's what he's going to end up. He was above, except for right now, obviously, but
he's at 6.92 right now after 3 starts. It's just 3, so we're keeping it in perspective, but we're playing the hypothetical.
Exactly. So, and you look at the times that he was above 4 as far as ERA in his career. That was 2018. It was a long time ago. So, but yeah, I mean, he always posts. He always goes out and gets it done. I wouldn't be surprised at all for him to go out and have a game like he had against the Yankees. I think
he was great.
Yeah, and I think it's much more likely that it's that. That's kind of what we've learned about Luis Castillo, and that's the reason why he is the rock. So I would bet on him going out and having, maybe not as good as the Yankees. That outing was pretty damn good, but somewhere closer to that than what we've seen over the last two times.
Yeah, and again, you guys can weigh in on that at 866-979-3776. This is just playing everything out as it is right now. It's a hypothetical question because we've only been talking about what Bryce Miller's return means to Hancock. And if Hancock's rolling, what do you do? You're going to take a guy who's hot and say, all right, you're in the bullpen.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
No.
I love Bryce Miller. We've seen what he can do, but we don't know what he's going to be. How long does it take him to find his rhythm? So we've only been limiting that conversation to those 2 guys. And as long as we're talking hypotheticals, I'm looking at Luis going, all right, hypothetically, let's say he continues to struggle a bit for whatever reason. Because, last 2 starts, not good. If that continues to the point where Bryce is healthy, Hancock's still rolling, Luis is struggling, what do you do? The only problem is I don't see, with Miller or Hancock, obviously, you can look at either one of them and say, well, you can put them in the bullpen, at least for the time being, and they could be your long relief guy. I don't see that option with Luis. I don't see him being that guy.
No, definitely not. So, and we'll ask CharliesFurbush when he comes in. And, just what does that do to the mentality or the confidence or whatever? Pete and Bellingham, and I've heard this a couple of times from people saying, go to the 6-man rotation.
Yeah, some of these guys, though, are on a routine. And as much as on the surface you go, well, that's even better for everybody because they get that extra rest. Some guys don't like that.
Right.
So
yeah, you hear that all the time, that they're very routine-oriented.
Yeah, and it can have the reverse impact on somebody. That their rhythm is built into this schedule as it is as a 5-man rotation. When you stretch it out, that messes with some guys. Maybe somebody else it might benefit, but I don't know. That's for Woody. That's for Pete, or for Dan to figure out, and Woody to figure out. All right, is this beneficial? Is this something that could overall be a positive, or does this have a negative impact on guys who are really dialed into their routine and pitching every 5th day?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you make that move, and that if that affects the rest of your rotation, it's just no good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that Luis Castillo, just going back, and if you just pull up his Pro Baseball Reference page, I feel like he's earned that he's not the guy that you replace, or you just let him get through it. Let him work through, whatever problems he's had. And right now it's a 2-game streak.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's some, 4 or 5 games where all of a sudden it's like, I think for Castillo also that he's getting older, 10 years in the league, and that's where you're starting to look for, okay, is this it for him? Is this a decline?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that over the last couple of years. But and he gives up some untimely home runs every once in a while. But I don't know. I just have learned to not doubt Luis Castillo.
All right. We will quickly learn this week what is for real with this Mariners team. We're going to talk about what's facing them coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Trident's up and brooms up.
They get the mop, they get the sweep. Swung on. Laser. Has he done it again? Josh Naylor. Lightning strikes twice.
After the Mariners sweep the division rival Astros, it's back on the road for a brief 3-gamer in San Diego. Mariners Padres. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Tonight, get every pitch of every game all with one app. The Seattle Sports app.
One of the best parts of radio is getting to interview a ton of interesting people who are at the very top of their profession. For example, Dr. Robert Meyer. He's a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award, and we spoke about prostate cancer and effective ways to treat a diagnosis. And Dr. Meyer said many patients prefer Swedish CyberKnife because all it takes is 5 short treatments, each lasting about 45 minutes. Swedish CyberKnife can treat prostate cancer in only 1 week with minimal interruption to a patient's life and work, and the side effects are minimal compared to other treatments. No surgery, non-invasive, and far less impact on your everyday functions and romantic life. And Swedish has been offering the CyberKnife treatment in Seattle for over 10 years and treated over 1,000 prostate cancer patients, some of them listening right now. So if diagnosed with prostate cancer, learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer treatment at swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Hour and a half drive here. To have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way. Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Totally rad and totally Snohomish PUD. Slash energy costs and upgrade your crib with rebates on windows, insulation, heat pumps, water heaters, smart thermostats, and so much more. Since 1980, Snohomish PUD has been stoked to help customers save energy and money. Discover rebates and no-cost energy tips at snowpud.com/rebates.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up at 3 o'clock, our guy Ryan Rowland-Smith will join us on the program, so stay tuned for that conversation coming your way. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, Mariners have a tough stretch in front of them. You got through the Astros, who are at this moment not a good team, but you're going up against a team in the National League, in the Padres, who represent the hottest team. They've won 5 in a row. Obviously, they play in a very tough division because they got the Dodgers sitting there above them. But the Padres are sitting there at 10-6. They've won 8 of 10. So they're rolling right now, won 5 in a row. And that's going to be a great test for this Mariner team. And then it's immediately followed by the Texas Rangers starting Friday night here in Seattle. And that's a team where the Mariners, we just talked about, 3 games against that team, you scored 3 total runs. One of them, you had just 2 hits in one game. It was horrible. Now, pitching-wise, when you look at the Mariners, they didn't do poorly against the Rangers. The offense just gave them nothing. I mean, it's not like you went out there and they just kicked your butt. You lost 2-1, 3-2, 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, giving up 8 runs in a 3-game series. Yeah, I mean,
your pitchers did their job.
They totally did.
Your offense was absent.
Yeah. Well, and this is going to be an indicator right here. The San Diego game here. I love the way that they got right as far as the Houston series goes. Just by not swinging at a lot of pitches. I know going into that series, Luke Arkins had a tweet that the Mariners had the highest whiff rate at pitches within the strike zone.
Yeah.
So they got that part of it right, and especially by just being patient and not pressing. So that's, but yeah, this one right here, yeah, top 10 for the Padres pitching in a lot of categories: ERA, walks, top 10 in strikeouts. This is a good staff they have. So this is going to be a very pivotal series here that is going to kind of be an indicator of where are they right now. And that's the thing early on in a season, you're just not sure where these guys are. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this series and kind of a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it's going to be. Look, they play the Padres every year. It doesn't carry the same weight because obviously they're a National League team. But in the end, if we're talking about wins and losses, it carries weight. If you miss the playoffs by a game, which the Mariners have multiple times, these games matter. But, the ones following it are the ones you really focus on because they're your division rivals. And both of those teams, as we sit right now, are ahead of you in the standings. Rangers are in first place at 9-7. A's have won 7 of 10. And their win streak came to an end last night at the hands of the Rangers. So they're 8-8. They're going to stay there. Is this how the standings are going to look all year? I doubt it. The Angels are they're tied with the Mariners at 8-9. I expect them to come back down to earth. We'll see what happens with the Astros. But, yeah, this is, if you want a measuring stick, you want a litmus test, whatever cliche you want to throw on it, even though it's early in the season, you want to see, all right, what was real, what was fool's gold in that series against the Astros? We're going to find out starting tonight. And I think if they can win this series against the Padres, you take 2 of 3, it's a big deal. This is, again, that's a good team you're facing right there. And it's a team that's playing well, even though it's early. So it's carrying the momentum of this Astros series in against a very good team. And if you come out of that with a series win, you got to come into that homestand against these two teams feeling real. I will feel very good. I will be very optimistic about their chances. And more importantly, this Rangers series for me, I'm very excited just to see, all right, how different can it be in such a short amount of time? Because, again, the offense was absolutely inept against the Rangers in that series.
Yeah.
And then if they're able to win 2 series in a row leading into the rematch, what's the outcome look like now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you discount San Diego a little bit just because their 4-game sweep in this 5-game streak that they're on was against the Rockies?
No, the Rockies just swept the Astros. I mean, I don't know. Look, these are all pro ball players. Yeah, you got bad teams. You've got some teams, and the Rockies are going to be one of them that'll lose 100 games or more, and presumably the White Sox. These teams are going to be who they've been. But that's still, say you lose 100 games, you're still beating 62. You're still winning 62 other games.
Right.
Somebody's losing to these teams. So you got to go out. You still have to hit that ball. You talked about it. You brought up the stat that Luke Arkins put out there. Mariners going into the Astros series had the highest whiff rate in the strike zone. They were missing the pitches that were in the strike zone. So you still got to hit them. It doesn't matter who's throwing them. If they're putting it there and you're not making contact, that's more about you. So if they go out there and they handle their business the way they did against the Astros, good on them. They showed the discipline we talked about, took the walks, got their hits when they could, and if that carries over, it just tells me this lineup starts to look like the lineup we thought we would see coming out of spring training, which is a very long lineup, a lineup where you kind of have a hard time finding holes in there when you've got your starters. When you got Leo Rivas in there, maybe Dom Canzone at this point, you're kind of going, all right, those might be the holes. But even Canzone's been productive. Not every time, but I feel like the only guy at this point where I feel like when he steps up to the plate, I don't have any expectation is Rivas.
Mm-hmm.
And Ref Snyder, I guess, to this point, because he doesn't have a hit.
Doesn't have a hit.
But he's on paternity leave, and we'll see Patrick Wisdom there. So, yeah, I mean, even Garver had a hit yesterday. So,
yeah,
everybody's kind of finding it. At least they did in that series, and hopefully there's some feel good there. There's some, hey, pressure's kind of off. We put up a boatload of runs after looking just awful against the Rangers. We're feeling Julio's out there going, man, I got a 4-game hit streak. I got 3 games in a row with multiple hits. I'm feeling good about things. I can't wait to get out there to Petco or whatever. Is it still called Petco? The hell do they call it now?
Yes. That is not a confident answer.
Yeah. Well, these buildings change their sponsorship so frequently, I forget what the names are anymore.
It is. There you go.
Is it still Petco?
It's Petco.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's damage to be done out there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Patrick Wisdom and just see if, and the lineup's not out yet, although San Diego posted theirs. But, I'm curious to see 9 home runs in AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just crushing it.
Yeah.
So, and, again, that's what you should do if you're a big leaguer in the minor leagues. So, yeah, I'm fired up to see what happens there. But, yeah, I think they're in a good spot right now. That was the thing I worried about the most after that Rangers series is what's going on in the clubhouse? What's the conversation? Is there any kind of panic? And, as you pointed out, I think the way that they got the offense going by taking walks was probably the best indicator that you could have. If they went out and just, crushed their pitching, which is not good, Houston's, that would have been, I just wouldn't have meant as much. So, but I'm very interested to see what's, the good news is you got Brian Wu going tonight.
Yeah.
So, 17 strikeouts so far.
Meanwhile, look at this, Lefko, just buttering up Ryan Rowland-Smith. What is this? Some might say the Mariners' sweep made life more difficult for Ryan Rowland-Smith. We'll see if he wants to relive his heroic work when he joins us next.
Wow. I'm making fun of his struggles. He had a really, really tough series.
Yeah, being down there on the field.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Those on-field interviews,
Yeah.
he loves those. He's such a fan. We'll talk to him about all of that. Ryan Rowland-Smith is going to join us next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here with Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. And Doc, what do you say to people who are considering those GLP-1 injections for weight loss?
Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medications long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight gain is common. And most people don't realize research shows a significant portion of the weight lost can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder.
From personal experience, I can tell you Eastside Weight Loss Clinic takes a different approach, a doctor-developed program helping people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days.
No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, we use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger, and cravings naturally.
So come to their clinic in Kirkland or do the program from anywhere you live with easy remote options. If you want a safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections,
go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com to keep the weight off for good.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something.
What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to stretch that win streak to 5 games when they take on the San Diego Padres. Game 1 of their 3-game series in San Diego tonight. Brian Wu on the hill takes his 1.5 ERA into action against Michael King. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here. Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore was sentenced to 18 months probation and fined just over $1,000 today for 2 misdemeanors stemming from an incident at the apartment of a staff member with whom he had engaged in an inappropriate relationship. Last month, he pleaded no contest to trespassing and malicious use of telecommunications device involving a domestic relationship.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
I actually talked about it on You Betcha on the podcast.
He is an unrivaled source of baseball knowledge.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
A guy who always has your back.
Pants back on, try and make the uniform look sweet in a split second. Come out, and I'm trying to open the door. I'm like, what the? And I said, listen, buddy, put your babysitting shoes on because Dad's going out for Father's Day. You got to watch Top Gun. You guys don't listen when I speak. I'm talking to a brick wall right now.
Ryan Rowland-Smith, every week with Wyman and Bob.
That's the open right there.
That's right, everybody. He's with us each and every week. We get a chance to sit down with this man who's just out there killing it on the field, just yanking players left and right. Get over here. Talk to me. Now, let's talk about your greatness. He's just one of the great on-field reporters. Ryan Rowland-Smith is here with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How much do you love being down there in the thick of it, in the action, in the camera well, or wherever you're sitting, and watching the game from that perspective and then going up and interviewing guys afterwards?
It's fun. At first it was a little hectic, because here's the deal. I have a newfound respect, and Lefko can. Is Lefko in the building, or is he off today? What's he doing?
No, I'm playing pickleball. Yeah, you know. I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, he loved the fact that I was hitting him up saying, like, I just want to get the etiquette right. Otherwise, I'd just walk into the dugout probably or in the locker room. I had to make sure I had the etiquette right in regards to grabbing the players and everything. And sometimes, some of these guys, they want to celebrate with their teammates. You don't want to be ripping them off the line when they're slapping hands. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I love being the field level's fun. I love being in the booth, don't get me wrong. But to mix it up and get down field level and, mess around with the guys in the booth during the game and then getting a chance to be in the thick of it when they win, especially this last weekend, man. It was a lot of fun.
Does everybody know that you're a former MLB big leaguer?
That's you talk about I honestly don't know, man. Like, I'm sitting there like, put it this way, Randy Rosarina thought I was the parking lot security, I think, at one point last year. Quick story on that. Like, he couldn't get into the parking lot. I think it was like a few days in a row. And I'd go and like swipe my card, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And he's looking at me like, I'm like, "You've got no idea who I am, do you?" Like, no idea. And he probably thought I was just one of the security guards or one of the ushers or something. I got no idea. But for the most part, man, like, I sometimes ask that, or sometimes I'll drop a hint like, "Oh yeah, back when I was pitching," they're probably thinking, "What in what JV? What are you talking about?"
Do you ever tell them in the clubhouse there, like, "Yeah, that was my locker one year, and then that was my locker." You've got
no chance. No way.
I gotta say, it's very awkward. I'm wondering if you feel the same way I do. I just don't feel like I belong in there, and
100%.
I hate going into the locker room. And there was one year, my very first year, where I had to do post-game interview, and it was after a loss. And so I'm like, I'm not going in there. And my producer's like, "You get your butt in there. You got to go in there and do interviews." And so, but there are certain go-to guys, right? Like at that point, it was Max Strong, Matt Hasselbeck. But for you, are there any go-to guys that you know and that you can?
Well, the guys I vibe with most on that team are the pitchers, like. Like Logan Gilbert, Kirby, Emerson Hancock, the starting rotation. Brian Wu did a camp with me last year. Bryce Miller's doing a camp with me this year. So, like, I have that relationship with them. I can, talk shop a little bit better with them, obviously. But, no, Dave, you get it, man, because some people are like, "Oh, you're a former player. Just get in there." No. Like, I knew as a player, you got 26 guys with 26 lockers in there. That's their sanctuary, and I'm like, I don't want to be in there. Like, I don't care if they think I'm cool or not. It doesn't matter. You don't want to be in there, man. It's tough. It's way tougher, man. It really is.
Especially after a loss.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Being in there after a loss is the worst.
I couldn't imagine football. Baseball, you know what? Hey, look, you lost a game. No music. Figure it out tomorrow. But football, there's no way. I'd be too scared. I'd be like, nope, I'm done. No
both are no fun being in there after a loss. It really is not. Yeah. Hey, Ryan, well, speaking of pitchers, we were throwing out this hypothetical earlier, and I'm curious to get your take on it. We've been talking a lot about what do you do? Just playing it out, the hypothetical. Emerson Hancock continues to pitch well. Yeah. Bryce Miller comes back. He's ready to go. He's healthy. He gets I don't know if he's going to get 1-2 rehab starts. We'll see. But just playing it out, what do you do? All right, you put Bryce in the bullpen, you throw him in the rotation, Hancock goes to the bullpen, you leave him in the rotation. What do you do? Well, I wanted to take that a little bit further in the hypothetical because the only guy who's really not been great to this point, at least over the last two starts, is Luis Castillo. Mm-hmm. So hypothetically, he continues to struggle a bit. Emerson Hancock continues to be rock solid. Yep. Bryce is ready to come back. Then what do you do? Should it be Luis Castillo's spot that we're talking about? At that point, he'd be, 5 starts into the season, 6 starts? Or is it just like, man, that guy's way too much of a veteran. His spot is never in question. How would you handle that? Just playing the hypothetical that everything remains as it is right now.
Well, Bob, I know you too well, and you know me too well, that you anticipate me beat around the bush here and play out this whole, it'll figure itself out, and just wait until it happens, and this, that, and the other. But you just want the clear cut. If Bryce Miller was coming back tomorrow, what do you do? I know that's what you're gunning for here, and I get it because it's a tough one because I've thought about it the last couple.
It's more about Luis kind of struggling and saying, is this guy who's your veteran, your highest paid pitcher in that rotation, a guy who's the rock, is his spot ever in question or despite it? Because his last 2 starts have been bad. I mean, he gave up 7 runs in his last start and 3 1/3, and the one before that he goes 3 2/3 and gives up 3 runs. So I'm just, it might be just a speed bump. He's not typically great in April, but I'm just throwing the hypothetical out there.
Well, if you were the front office, hypothetically, if we were sitting there in the front office and knowing what he's done the last couple of years and how 3.5 ERA, matter of fact, he's had a 3.5 and that consistency the last couple of years, especially the way he finished last year too. Would it be wise as a team to say, oh, hey, look, because of short term, he's not doing well right now. We really have to get Bryce Miller back. And then all of a sudden you sacrifice some of that rhythm or knowing what you're going to get out of Luis Castillo at some point once he gets in a rhythm. Right. Would that be a smart idea? I don't think so. I really don't. And I think that as it stands right now, you have a situation, and by the way, I've been in this situation too, where 5 dudes were dealing, and I was just like chomping at the bit to come back. And it went from, man, we can't wait to get you back, and I'm pretty much healthy, ready to go, to all of a sudden getting slow played. And I'm looking around going, hey, man, I just went 6 shutout innings in AAA. My velocity's back. Why am I having another start, right, in AAA? And I was getting frustrated. Ultimately, what happened, I've told you guys this story before, but I hit someone in the head. I got suspended in AAA, and I got optioned down. Yeah, not to go down that rabbit hole, but
was it on purpose?
I think he's not hanging on to it, though.
No, it was not on purpose. I don't want to get into it. We have enough time. If this is like some podcast or something, we could sit here and just mess around all day. But I know you guys have got commercials and left goes, whatever he's got going on over there, running the show. But so I won't steer away from the question. I think that you have to, in this situation, the way Emerson's pitching, the priority right now, I'm not saying that Emerson Hancock has taken Bryce Miller's spot by any means, but you have to look at this. And with everything you said about Luis Castillo, if it was tomorrow, you would sit there and say, Bryce at this point is not going to push someone out of a spot right now, even with Luis Castillo doing what he's doing. And you also, too, because we're on the subject, if you guys remember last year, the 3 of us spoke about this. Are we rushing Bryce Miller back so quickly? What are we doing? And it backfired massively. So what this does with Emerson, the way he's doing his thing right now, I'm happy for him. It allows them to just let Bryce get 1,000% confidence-wise, physically, get him good to go. I would not mess with that five-man rotation. And I'm giving Luis Castillo, not because he's a veteran and he's earned that right. No, from what I've seen the last couple of years, that he is a dude that once he gets in a rhythm, he is just an absolute force. You don't want to mess with that right now. Unless you do something where maybe there's some fatigue or something and you take him out, or he skips a start, or you mess with a 6-man because you have any off days for just a little bit and see who plays up. But you don't want to keep to a 6-man in a long-term basis, that's for sure, because that is very difficult to deal with a 6-man rotation, that's for sure.
Hey, you bring that up, and we've had a bunch of people text in, just go to a 6-man. Just go to a 6-man. Everybody looks at it as, hey, everybody gets more rest, but you explain as a pitcher at that level, what's the negative of a 6-man rotation?
Because like Andres Munoz in the bullpen having 4 days off, you can clear as day see the effect it has on him. When you have that extra day off, not to mention when you mix in a day off as well, now all of a sudden you got 6 days off in between. It is very difficult to keep your rhythm. That's number one. And number two, when you look at it too, when you've got the way Logan Gilbert looks, George Kirby the way he looks, and Brian Wu, who all 3 are basically Cy Young contenders, do you really want to take... I can't do the math because I'm an idiot. How many starts are you going to take away? You're going to get 30-plus starts from these dudes. When you get 30-plus starts, it affects the wins and losses. 30-plus production. They have built to be healthy to get 30-plus starts. That's what you're aiming for. The minute you go 6-man rotation, now you're building up someone to go 25 times. You're not getting the same value from a rotation, clear as that. So what are you going to do? Dilute a rotation just to add someone else in there? It doesn't keep you healthy either, by the way. Like, for a classic example, if Logan Gilbert, that elbow injury he had, a 6-man rotation is not going to stop that from happening. George Kirby with a shoulder thing. 6-man rotation, everyone talks about health, is not going to stop that from happening. On the flip side, though, with a Brian Wu who started to fatigue a little bit at the end of August last year because he was pitching, he was up, down, 6+ times, 25 times straight. Yeah, that can have an effect for sure when you have that extra day of rest, maybe. But it doesn't, there's not enough value there in regards to keeping guys healthy. And you do not want to dilute the opportunity to see those three guys I mentioned, Kirby, Logan, I want them out 30-plus times. I need them taking them out 30-plus times for the value aspect of it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I was going to ask the same question, but what about for Bryce Miller? What about, him and his development? How much do we worry about that, of him not getting back into the rotation?
Well, it all plays out, man. I hate to say that, but it's look at the Blue Jays, classic example. They had like 8 dudes who were all, by the way, getting paid or priorities. It wasn't just like some young kid fighting for a spot. Now, they had 8 guys that were like, we need them in a 5-man rotation in spring training. And look, it all fell apart. There's so many injuries and everything else. It always tends to work out or work in your favor some way, performance or injury, right? I hate to say it, but that's kind of the way it rolls. Now, and we saw that happen last year too. It is a massive luxury to have. And right now, I think what's going to happen is, from a blessing standpoint with Bryce Miller, how good he was at the end of last year, you can just simply ease him into one of these weird oblique injuries. You're not worried so much about him ripping up the oblique again. You're worried about mechanically trying to work around that injury, and then all of a sudden shoulder, elbow. On the flip side too, and I've talked to you guys about this a couple months ago, Bryce Miller, how incentivized is he? Because he's making, $2.7 million this year? He wants to get 30-plus starts or 25 at least and dominate because he's got a team has to make a decision that either they pay him $6.5 million bucks next year or not. So he's looking at this guy, man, he's chomping at the bit. It's a great incentivizer for him to get back. But now he's got some competition, man. And Emerson's worked his way into creating some issues. And that's exactly what you want.
Ryan, how do we view this 4-game sweep of the Astros? Their pitching is dreadful. They came in with dreadful pitching. They had the highest ERA in the league. But the Mariners were the worst hitting team in the league. If you looked at average, OPS, slug, they were the bottom of the league. So we saw the Mariners offense put up 3 runs in 3 games against the Texas Rangers. They had 2 hits in the final game. Then in this, they walked 27 times. They put up almost 30 runs. Yeah, the pitching's not great, but they're still big leaguers. You still got to make contact. And we saw guys start to get hot, more specifically Julio, who's got a 4-game hitting streak. He's got multiple hits in the last 3 games. We saw Naylor yesterday with his first extra base hits, and they're both home runs. Which is more true, that they're finding themselves and the offense is starting to relax, or the pitching was just so bad that was going to happen regardless of how they were performing prior to that?
I think it's a combination. Number one, the self-inflicted wounds from the Houston Astros. By the way, I haven't seen him this bad since I was a Houston Astro, to be honest with you, when I got DFA'd. They have got, and I was talking to a buddy of mine who's on the coaching staff in AAA. He goes, dude, usually you play the Astros AAA team, and there's 1 or 2 dudes like, man, he is going to be 15 years in the show stud. They don't have that in AAA. They don't have the up and coming 28. Like, they're ranked in the bottom 5 farm systems now. The pitching. So how many times have we seen this over the years? And me joining you guys on a Monday after talking about the weekend with, they missed this opportunity. How many times did we see where you can get some bad pitching, command issues, and the Mariners all of a sudden go chasing, don't get that big hit or whatever it may be?
Yep.
Now, so I look at it 2 ways. Number one, yes, the Japanese kid who said the mound was too hard under his feet. I mean, come on, dude. Like, that's you're kidding, aren't you? The Japanese dude who's getting paid $50 million who couldn't throw a strike. So that you take advantage of that. Now, good offenses, whether they're struggling or not, even more so, man, it's even more impressive when you're struggling. Why? Because you're trying to force the issue. You're back home, big crowd on a little Ichiro statue night or whatever it is, and you're trying to force the issue. And they didn't. They just sat back and they just let the self-infliction of just throwing, balls to the backstop win the game for him. And so that's impressive to me too. You come off a road trip, nothing doing. You've got Cal Raleigh, who was sitting on 60 home runs last year, who's trying to figure it out, hadn't had an extra base hit yet. Julio, who's ground ball percentage is 56%. Josh Naylor hadn't had an extra base hit yet. And you're looking at that going, man, you're going to press a little bit, and everyone else is going to feed off that energy too. But no, they didn't, man. You've got Cole Young, who's 12 years old. You've got Leo Rivas, who's like, these younger players who just sat back and waited. J.P. Crawford, who's probably, it was not controversial, but the whole thing with Colt Emerson on his mind too, and trying to get back quickly. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Slow play the pitching. So that was impressive to me. And it was a great way for them just to settle in, slow down a little bit, know that it is early. And then by the end of that by the end of that homestand, man, you saw some better pitching, and they just got after it, and it was awesome to see. And I just think that when you can get on that plane to go to San Diego, regardless of what you just faced, it's going to be a lot tougher in San Diego. Obviously, Michael King dealing last couple of days and the rest of their rotation. But you can get on that plane and go, okay, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to crush a mistake. I can sit back. I can recognize some pitches. I'm getting a feel for this ABS too, by the way. I've talked to a couple of guys about that. And everything's going to be okay. You can just take a breath a little bit after a series like that. So I think it's a combination of both.
What do you see with the Padres? They've won 8 of their last 10. How tough of a series is this going to be?
Look, I'm not going to say they're always going to be good. At some point, the financially, it's going to catch up to them a little bit. But they're a team who they're outscoring, just like the Mariners. Well, Mariners last 4 days, they're just outscoring teams, man. They're 53-29. 13 of the Padres, I think 13 of the 16 home runs, have come in this last 9-game stretch. So they're red hot offensively, and then you got some pitching to go with it. You've got, obviously I mentioned Michael King, and then you got Randy Vasquez, who's doing well. And then look, Walker Buehler, I don't know what you're going to see from him against Castillo. I think that's the soft spot here with this rotation. So very similar to the Mariners in regards to offensively. They're crushing the ball at the moment. And then you go from the Houston Astros pitching, some guys that just had to fill spots in that rotation to all of a sudden to Michael King. It's going to be tougher. But if you can just walk away with the same approach as what we saw the last couple of days offensively. And again, I said this to you guys, I think on opening day, just have a 15th ranked team and keep everyone in the rotation healthy with a Bryce Miller and an Emerson Hancock battling out, or Luis Castillo, whatever you want to hypothetical Bob Stilton tried to throw my way with the rotation. Just have a team that's striking out 18% of the time instead of 25% of the time, and you're going to run away with the AL West. That's it for this team. And I'm saying this in April. I guarantee I'll say it to you guys in September as well.
What do you think you take away from this series in regards to Julio, who we've been waiting and waiting? He had his first extra base hit of the season in this series, had a double, followed it with a home run in the same game. Yeah. And now he's got, it's modest, but a 4-game hit streak. He's got 3 games in a row with multiple hits. He's got a little different stance up there, or at least his bat now is resting on the shoulder instead of upright the way he used to carry himself. Says he does it to relax a bit up there. Yeah. Is it, I don't know, are we seeing him turn the corner, or is that, do you go, okay, it was the Astros pitching, so let's see how he looks in these other series?
I was thinking about this after the game yesterday, and I actually talked to him about the whole stance thing. Last couple of years, especially in April, you hear about all the adjustments and the overcorrection and correction from Julio Rodriguez with his swing and his approach. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I get it, man. I like the fact that bat's just kind of rests on his shoulder and he's simplifying everything because he's so athletic. But at the same time, I kind of wish that, because he got that bat twirling a little bit. I was kind of hoping he was going to get the ball in the air and be on time, just normal, not making these adjustments, because you know what's going to happen. He's going to go back to the bat twirl and take a month now to go back and forth essentially to figure it out. He's still going to end the year with 30-plus home runs or whatever and just go off. I get it. But when you see him, and how many times have we seen this, ground ball rates around 55%. When get a lot of balls on the ground, that's when he tries to readjust. But I think if he can correct whatever it is for him that gets him to a place that when that ball's a couple feet away from him, he feels really good about it, and he's on time, and he's lifting that ball off the ground, he's going to be okay. We just say this every single year with him. Can he do the July-August version of Julio? Can he get that in April or May? If he can do that, he will be iconic. He'll have a statue at the back at next to Each Road with a broken back. You know what I mean? Like he I'm telling you, because he is so good, man. Like especially being on field level, just how athletic that dude is. It's ridiculous. Every time the ball comes off his bat, you don't realize it till you're like down on field level. You're like, whoa. But it's just a matter of him just simplifying everything and feeling really good about where he's at. If he can get that by the end of the month, man, he's going to absolutely go off and have a crazy year.
Was it like talking to a brick wall today?
No, it was good. I feel like, I don't know. I'm rambling a little bit. I'm jumping all over the place. I've got my check out the best dad ever coffee mug. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, there you go. The official voting has come in, huh?
That's weird.
Yeah,
I have one of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, kids. Just go on Amazon. Why don't you customize this thing? My name should be on there, a picture or something. Come on.
Lefko's got one that says best pickleballer ever.
Don't say it. Hey, where's Furbush at? No, is Furbush in the building, dude? We need to.
He'll be with us in a half hour.
Nice.
Yeah. Are you guys, is it still a thing? You and Furbush versus Lefko, and he said it would be easy to beat both of you?
Well, who's Lefko's little pickleball partner?
He said he'd beat you by himself. He said he'd beat both of you at the same time.
He needs one of his nerd pickleball buddies to step in, and we can just annihilate one of his pickleball buds who he just geeks out over, I don't know, over rackets or whatever, or paddles or whatever.
He's nervous to go 2-on-1, so...
You're afraid to face Lefko 2-on-1. Come on, Ryan. I don't believe that of you. You and Furbush versus Lefko. You guys got to win that.
I'll destroy
someone else along.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you get one of your little pickleball buddies. Let's go.
All right.
Little pickleball nerds.
With his headband on for no reason. He's not even breaking a sweat on that mini court.
I just like when he said that before, and CharliesFurbush looked at him. He goes, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." So we got to get it going. Ryan, we love you, man. We appreciate it. Great job this week out there on the field.
Yes,
and we'll talk again next week.
Sounds good. Talk soon.
There he is, everybody. Ryan Rowland-Smith. Our weekly conversations with Ryan Rowland-Smith are presented by Mazda of Everett. You can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, the NFL continues to see what they can get away with before fans ultimately say enough is enough. Tell you what that's about. Coming up next with Wyman and Bob, it's Seattle Sports on 710.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Seattle Storm cleaned up in the WNBA draft, taking Spanish center Amafam Thiam at number 3 overall, and then acquiring LSU superstar Flau'jae Johnson.
Yeah, I was a baller. She's your modern big man. She can dribble, she can shoot. Flau'jae, low-key, was one of like the first real modern athletes to get paid. Man, I know a lot of people focus on the men's game when it comes to that, but Flau'jae needs to be in this conversation too, man. She's a pioneer.
Bump and Stacy, only on Seattle Sports.
You know, it's funny how you get used to things and not so ideal the condition around the house. For some people, it's a messy garage or a leaning fence. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, condensation. If you're in that same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old Drury windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. They have the spring cleaning sale going on right now to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, and you can choose from either 20% off your entire project or get a free door. And on top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They're manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest, and they're exclusive to Harley Exteriors. They're good people. I've really enjoyed working with them. So give them a call at 833-HARLEY. That's HARLEY, or go to HarleyExteriors.com and schedule your free consultation and get a bid from Harley. That's HarleyExteriors.com.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Dealing with divorce and custody issues can be terrifying and very lonely, but you don't need to face it alone. Goldberg Jones has been helping Northwest husbands and fathers for more than 30 years. Thousands of men have put their trust in us. You can too. Learn more at goldbergjones.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign. And so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready to create your home wellness retreat? Whether you love a relaxing session in infrared or traditional steam heat, we have the perfect Hilo sauna waiting for you. Up your wellness game by building your own contrast therapy studio, featuring a new sauna and our amazing Vigor Cold Plunge. Buy both and save up to $5,000. Savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America NA, member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks once again to Ryan Rowland-Smith, who joined us in the previous segment. If you just tuned in and missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, taking a look around the NFL, Dave, Roger Goodell was in Australia. I wonder if Ryan knew that. Maybe he could have hooked him up with his parents out there.
That's right.
Showing him around. But he was out there to promote the upcoming Week 1 game between the Rams and 49ers. And he made it sound like this is not just a one-off that this is the beginning of something that's going to be a regular thing?
Well, we always like to say we're going to play and then we'll announce, but there's no question that we're going to be playing here again. Our view is that we're coming here for the long term. We don't come as one-offs. This isn't a circus. This is something that's an investment in this market, and we believe that this is long term, and will be great for the NFL long term.
Does that mean 2027?
It might.
I don't like it.
Yeah, they're trying to conquer the world.
I get their motivation. Their motivation makes perfect sense. So don't text in. Oh, obviously they're doing it for money. And their motivation's clear. Mm-hmm. But as a football fan, and the idea that at some point the Seahawks are going to be one of these teams that has to go play in Australia or Germany or Spain or where any of these places that they want to have games, and it becomes more of a regular thing. We've heard about the Jags schedule could be sort of split in half. Their home schedule could be half of it in Jacksonville and the other half of their home schedules out of the country. Mm-hmm. And the Jags are now, at least coming off of last year, a good team. And presumably there's going to be more interest in their product from the locals out there. Hopefully the stadium would be full. You're cheating your local fan base. So I don't like losing home games to a game being played in some other part of the world.
Yeah, somebody's going to lose a home game. So yeah, it just
multiple. Maybe it looks like
the travel part of it too. I think they've kind of gotten down. I mean, I've been to Japan. We played in Tokyo 3 times. At least I have. Once at Stanford, twice in the NFL during the preseason, and then
preseason's cool. I can live with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I have no problem with that, but. You look at the regular season and, when players start getting hurt or sick or fatigued or whatever, that's when I think it's going too far, but I don't know, man. It's the home game thing, I think is the worst part of it. Who's losing the home game, by the way? Is it San Fran or the Rams? Do we know?
No, it's the Rams, remember? Because Kyle Shanahan was like, well, they wanted us to go over there because we were going to invade their stadium anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the team like the Rams, where they've got a very limited fan base out there, regardless of how good they are. All right, for them, they probably don't feel as bad.
Yeah,
but
the
stadium here is packed every home game. I get it. I understand it. They need to make more money. They need to get that much bigger. But I don't know. What is it? What's the end game look like? They've got it drawn up. Roger Goodell and all of his people have an end game. Like, when this full thing comes to fruition, here's what we're looking at.
All right.
What is that? Is that every team is playing multiple games per year in different places outside of the country, and that's just going to be part of everybody's regular season schedule year in, year out, and we're going to all be looking at the schedule going, okay, where are we going this year? Oh, we're going to Germany. We're going to London. We're going to Australia. We're going to have 4 games out of the – I mean, what's the end game here?
Yeah, I would say that. I think you're right. Probably every team plays in an international game every year.
But is it going to eventually their ultimate dream going to be multiple games? Like, it's not just one home game a year. It's eventually it's like the 18-game schedule. We've been talking about that forever. It was at 16. Yeah, all right. Now it's 17. It's going to 18. It's not if, it's when. It's going to be 18. So is there a number on these games for each franchise each year? Not every other year, not every year. Each team will play X amount of games outside of the country.
Yeah, well, that's the way it makes it sound.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn. I do like as a player, I don't know, if I thought that was that big of a deal. I just was always like, hey, wherever we're playing, that's where we're going, and that's not a big deal. But yeah, I think for the home teams that that are losing those home games is kind of ridiculous, and I'm sure the Seahawks are going to be very popular too.
Yeah, and I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. to watch a game, Dave. In fact, I won't. I'll be
Of course you won't.
Come on, it's a weekend. Who wants to get up that early to watch a game?
I mean. I kind of like it. Like on those days, I will get up early and watch that international game if we have the opportunity to. If we had like a Thursday night game or whatever. Yeah, I'll get up early. But yeah, it's I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear how the NFLPA kind of pushes back on this too, because it's just wearing out some of the players, and if they try to connect the dots and he's fatigued because they had to go to this, we had to go to Australia or Germany or whatever. That's when I would think that they would push back on that. But I think it's inevitable that they're going to continue to do this.
Meanwhile, Adam Schefter was talking this morning about the Steelers. He was on ESPN radio, and he was asked whether the Steelers still plan on having Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback.
I think they're waiting on him. What's interesting is, again, I think the pivot plan would have been Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, so he's not a pivot plan anymore. So if Aaron Rodgers decided he didn't want to play anymore, I think the Steelers would go with Will Howard, who they like, who they believe in, Mason Rudolph, and I think you draft a guy here.
Once again, it's the Aaron Rodgers watch. Just like it was last year. We're approaching, the draft is next week, and I don't know if the Steelers have plans to draft a quarterback depending on Aaron Rodgers, if they're looking at it going, okay, if he's not coming back, we like this guy. If he is coming back, we're going to go elsewhere. I don't know how their plans change based on his presence, but once again, they find themselves, and the league finds themselves in the Aaron Rodgers watch.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. He only threw 7 picks last year.
Yeah.
7 picks. I mean, he's a better option than, what else is out there. I mean, the league will, sort of, they're gonna find, who's better than him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, there just isn't anyone right now. So I could see him hanging on for another 2 or 3 years.
Oh, is he going to do it every year? Is it going to be a 1-year deal every year, and then we're going to wait till he comes out of the ayahuasca tent and has his reality check with the gods and says, I am playing, I'm not playing? I don't know. One more quickly before the break here. This is Howie Roseman at his pre-draft press conference. The GM of the Eagles, Howie Roseman, had to address the reports of widespread frustration in the organization about Jalen Hurts.
I have seen those reports. Bob and our PR staff do a great job of showing us what we need to see. I would say that we have some faults. One of them is not being direct and honest with our players and the conversations with our players. So for us, if we have any issue with any of our players, we talk to them directly. So, from my perspective, from Nick's perspective, from Jeffrey's perspective, we're not hiding behind anything. We will talk to our players directly. And, I think that it's unfair. It's unfair to have these articles written, but I understand it's also what sells at this point. So, I think it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is one of the guys personality-wise that I never thought, there would be any stories about him, being a problem in the locker room. And, and that's a guy that if Russell had permitted, he might have ended up here. The Seahawks really liked him, and I really like him. I mean, the one thing that stood out to me that was so ridiculous is that, there were teammates and maybe some coaches that were thinking he was being too careful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really a detriment?
Apparently it is. I don't know. And the one thing that stood out there is he didn't say the stories were false. He just said, yeah, I've seen them, and it's not fair. We try to communicate with players, blah, blah, blah. So maybe there is frustration. Who knows? But, yeah, the guys
we'll ask El Hombre.
Yeah, we'll see what he has to say about that. But they've had a lot of success with him out there, so we'll see if that changes. Meanwhile, we found one thing that Mike McDonald doesn't want to be great at. You're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, are you somebody that's been dealing with an injury and you're looking at surgery? before you do that, put a pause here, and I'm going to help you out, I think. It's Bob Stelton here. You got to go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. That's what I did. I thought I was at the end of the road. I thought I was looking at surgery because I'd had a hip issue after 14 years of jiu-jitsu. It had pretty much destroyed my hip, had a torn labrum, the tendon was frayed, the bursa sac was inflamed, arthritis developing, just a lot. Just walking down the street was hurting. So I thought I'd been at the end of the road, getting steroid injections, physical therapy. It wasn't working. I went to Dr. Wagner. He took a look at all the imaging and said, look, I can help you. It's going to help. It doesn't cure every last thing. You got a lot going on, but it's going to help. And he undersold it. It has been an absolute game changer, and I'm glad I did it. And I'd heard so many patients raving about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, who is the most experienced in the Northwest. He's a board-certified physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, and he only uses your own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in your own joints. So people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone-on-bone, are back to doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, maybe a knee, shoulder, elbow, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Big Trees provides professional tree transplant services, helping you keep the trees you love right where they belong. Don't let construction, remodeling, or changing landscapes cause a headache. Big Trees moves your cherished trees safely so you can keep those memories growing strong. With decades of experience, Big Trees knows how to move trees safely and successfully. Up and away, get your tree transplanted today. See more of their transplanting process at bigtreesupply.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. In October baseball, every pitch matters and every decision is magnified. In the postseason, teams don't rely on hope. They rely on preparation and experience. Divorce works much the same way. But the consequences of a bad call don't last a game, they last a lifetime. At Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, we provide the preparation and experience to protect your finances, your children, and your future. Go to goldbergjones.com to get your questions answered at no charge. goldbergjones.com.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months. Plus, mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
The road to riches starts at Silver Reef. This April is your chance to win $100,000 in cash, plus a 26 Mercedes-Benz. Have some fun in the fast lane every Saturday night with hourly drawings from 5 to 9 p.m. Join us April 25th at 10 p.m. for the guaranteed grand prize car giveaway. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the Dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, George Kirby had a terrific outing yesterday, and it looked like he was going to get pulled before the 8th inning came to an end. Dan Wilson went out there. He went to pull him. Then he didn't. He left him in, and George Kirby kind of broke down that mound visit where we all thought his night was done, and then it turned out he was staying.
Yeah, I always want to keep the ball in my hand, so I got a little help from JP yelling, keep him in, and then, but yeah, I'm glad Dan, believed me right there, but, just walked, but I wish I would have went a little better, but yeah, I'm glad he kept me in for that. Believed in me.
That's funny. JP was yelling that, and good for him. His pitch count was in order. He was in good shape there.
Yeah.
But he was in a little bit of a spot, and then they gave him that extra batter, and then he ended up walking.
Walked him. Yeah.
So, but hey, he earned the trust of his manager. His manager showed some faith in him. All right, didn't work with that hitter, but you got out of there unscathed. You won the game. Pitched a tremendous game.
Well, that's that leadership that we talk about with JP. That why everybody loves him and why he's so popular in the clubhouse. I wonder if he gave him any other reasons other than just keep him in.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he was pitching a great game.
Sweeping the Dial.
Well, people were noticing yesterday that Josh Naylor added a pretty pronounced leg kick, and it resulted in 2 home runs. So he talked about that, why he started to use the leg kick, and then that led to this follow-up question.
Josh, what do you like about the leg kick? What, if any,
I don't like it.
What sacrifices then does it make to, I guess, your other setup?
Again, I think you try things sometimes and hope it works, and if it doesn't, try something else. I think this game's a big trial and error game. You work your hardest to be the best you can be, and if it's not working out, maybe you try something different, try to hit like someone else or do something else within your stance, within rhythm. Yeah.
I like that. I don't like it.
But he's always so direct. It's funny.
And there's a guy who's responding to his lack of success. Going, all right, I got to do, it's like Julio resting the bat on his shoulder now. He hadn't been doing that to start the year. That started at the beginning of this Astros series. And in his mind, he said he likes it. It's to this point, it's working. But, we talked to Rowland-Smith about it, like, well, basically saying, is he going to go back and forth? If he struggles again, is he going to go back to the upright, stance that he had with the bat being upright? So we'll see. But, seeing these guys sort of respond to their struggles going, okay, well, let me try this leg kick. And so far it worked. So I would imagine we're going to continue to see it until it stops working.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that it's something that annoys him seemingly. Yeah. But yet it brought some results there. So, yeah, it just further emphasizes how, like, guys tinkering with these little tiny movements. And that's fascinating to me that in a sport, where I come from, where it's like, hey, I'm not going to change my stance or anything like that. Maybe it's more about prep or something like that. But these little tiny details, something like resting the bat Which, by the way, I did not notice a bigger leg kick. Did anybody, do you think?
Yeah.
Text in if you noticed that. I didn't.
Well, now that you said that, they're all going to go, yeah,
of course.
You didn't see it?
You don't know ball.
You moron?
Oh, jeez. Why? Why must we do this?
It's for you, Dave. Well, also because there's an actual Masters story. So Mike McDonald was there. He was there on Friday at the Masters. He joined Laura Rutledge on set. And while they were talking, about the Seahawks and about being there at Augusta, ESPN golf analyst Andy North had a critique for Mike McDonald's golf game.
Congratulations, Coach, on a Super Bowl win. I'm guessing you haven't played an awful lot of golf over the last 4 or 5 months. But you have played a lot of golf before that. You've got a really good golf swing. And if I spend a little bit more time in the gym, you might be as big as some of your linebackers.
Okay, it is true, though, right? As a head coach, you don't want to be like, wow, that golf swing looks incredible. You must have been playing a lot.
Well, John Harbaugh used to give me crap all the time. He said if my golf game was too good, that meant I probably wasn't doing my job well enough. So that stuck with me over the years.
I believe him, too.
I hate you, Matt.
Why is that?
David loves this song.
Because he plays this music every chance that he gets.
He loves the Masters theme song.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
The azaleas.
Why is it so
blue.
dramatic? I mean, it's golf, for God's sakes.
It's a tradition unlike any other day.
Yeah, give me a break.
Amen corner.
Yeah, no, he's right about that, though. It's like if you got a good golf game, especially during the football season. I'll have to talk to Moyer about that. Moyer told me that him and Kenny Easley used to get up at like 4:30 in the morning or 5 during double days when they were out in Cheney and go play like 9 holes.
Really?
Yeah, and then go and do double day practices.
Were they good?
Yeah, Moyer is a great golfer.
Is he?
And Kenny was really good too.
Could they have been better football players had they not done that?
Well, they practice twice a day. I don't know how much more you can do football-wise.
I mean, Easley's a legend, and Paul's a legend around here. Could they have been superstar legends of all time had they not devoted so much of their free time to golf?
Paul's in the Northwest Football Hall of Fame,
That's
right?
Yeah.
So apparently it didn't hurt him.
And he's a legend on this show.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's also a legend in his own mind.
Yeah.
No, we love Paul.
All right. Coming up, CharliesFurbush will join us in studio. We'll get his thoughts on everything that happened over the last few days. That is coming up next with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Trident's up and brooms up.
They get the mop, they get the sweep. Swung on. Laser. Has he done it again? Josh Naylor. Lightning strikes twice.
After the Mariners sweep the division rival Astros, it's back on the road for a brief 3-gamer in San Diego. Mariners, Padres, first pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Tonight, get every pitch of every game all with one app, the Seattle Sports app.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Bull riding is not just a sport. It's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. It's Cooper Tire's PBR Tacoma at Tacoma Dome, April 24th and 25th. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to stretch their win streak to 5 games when they start their 3-game series in San Diego tonight. Game 1 coming your way with Brian Wu on the hill. He faces off against Michael King. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch, Seattle Sports. You'll catch it right here. Meanwhile, games going on right now. They're in the bottom of the second in Baltimore. Orioles out to a 1-0 lead over the Diamondbacks. Bottom of the second in Philly. No score between the Cubs and Phillies. Top of the second in Detroit, scoreless between the Royals and Tigers. Also true for the Giants and Reds. They are scoreless in the top of the second in Cincinnati. Top of the first, things just getting underway in Pittsburgh, where the 10-6 Pirates taking on the Nationals. No score in that one, still to come. Yankees host the Angels, Braves and Marlins in Atlanta. Red Sox on the road to take on the Twins. White Sox and Rays in Chicago. Brewers host the Blue Jays. Cardinals and Guardians in St. Louis. And the Astros, who are reeling, they play host to the Colorado Rockies.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We do it every week. Bring in this man who knows a thing or two about this game of baseball, part of a combined no-hitter, now a podcast host on top of it, and he's a post-game host. He's an analyst. He's just doing it all. Jack of all trades. In studio with us for an hour. CharliesFurbush is here. How are you, man?
You know, feeling versatile as ever.
You are versatile.
That's right.
You
That's what you need to be in the bullpen, you know?
I'm telling you, man. We're going to start hearing about his podcast the way we did with the Top Step with Rowland-Smith. He's doing one with the bartender, Tom Wilhelmsen.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
How's that going?
It's going great. Yeah,
What's it called?
It's called The Late Inning Show.
The Late Inning Show.
Two guys that spent many days pitching in the late innings. So we figured we'd give the audience a little glimpse into what it's like.
Nice. And I thought I gave him a great idea for guests to open his for the opening of the show. No, not me. I'd be happy to come on, but I think these other people would draw more interest, and that would bring on every single member of that combined no-hitter and just relive that moment. Just talk about their role in that game. What were your thoughts? Were you aware of what was going on? And just kind of relive it.
You could produce one of these podcasts.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
We're hiring.
How does no money sound? Yeah. So that's cool. But, hey, more importantly, the Mariners got back on the right track against the hated Houston Astros. And we were asking the question earlier, Charlie, do you look at this sweep and go, all right, that was more about the offense getting untracked, they're starting to find their rhythm, the confidence, especially with the middle three guys, or is it more about that is really a team that's struggling with their starting pitching? They got a lot of injuries. They came in with the worst ERA in baseball, and it was probably more that. Which way do you lean?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but certainly it's hard not to look at where Houston's at from a pitching standpoint. I mean, they are in shambles, and when you're dealing with all this adversity on the pitching side of things, it's really difficult. And even you saw Houston, they're putting up runs, like they're doing enough offensively to win games, but clearly when you're giving up multiple runs, double-digit runs, it's just going to be really hard to rely on the offense to get it done. So I think that, the off day was killer to come home, have that quick off day, reset, and, know that there's still a lot of games left. So it's one of those things where things can flip real quick, and that's what you saw this weekend. They go out and they sweep the Astros, and I think the offense just had an opportunity to finally kind of come together as a unit, and I think that's what you saw.
Yeah, and 27, Bob pointed this out, maybe the most impressive thing about that is you face bad pitching. Don't go up there and, start hacking at everything. And they just kind of let them, sort of kill themselves, right, with the walks. I mean, I thought that was it was a great observation by Bob, obviously. But also, I thought that was exactly what they needed, right?
Yeah.
I thought the way that they did that really, really stood out and can help them going forward.
For sure, and that's where great offenses are going to take opportunities that they get and run with it. And I think that's where when pitchers are walking guys and are inaccurate and they're putting peoples on the base, it is absolutely paramount, not just as a unit offensively, but each guy in the lineup to take what the pitcher's giving you and go get it done. Because you realize that when you have a starting pitching staff on your side so good, they don't need that many runs. Mm-hmm. They don't need that many runs to win games. And I think you continue to see the strength of the staff show out night in and night out. And, you get a nice little 4-game stretch where everything's clicking and all your guys start showing up and looking like they're supposed to look. It just gives you that confidence that the team is going to be exactly where they need to be.
Hey, can you, as a pitcher, identify or you see a guy that's like, oh, this guy's struggling, man? And you look at his, and I'm sure you guys have all the reports and everything. This guy's won for his last 20 or whatever. What's that look like when you see a guy like that, and sort of how do you handle a hitter like that when you know that he would do anything for a hit?
Yeah, it's definitely something going into it, that there is a guy struggling or not able to, really find the barrel. But you don't give anyone credit. You don't go up there and say, oh, I'm better than you because you're struggling. You still have to, toe the rubber and give the the batter credit that he's a Major League Baseball player and can still get it done. But, in the back of your mind, you know that based on recent information that if I do my job, there's a very, very good chance that he's just going to get out, right? I think sometimes that's a breath of fresh air when you run into a guy, especially in if you're a starter and you're in that a tough situation where it's second and third, one out in the third inning, and you got to come up instead of facing a guy that's seeing everything and it looks like a beach ball. He's facing a guy that doesn't really have a chance. Just gives you that extra added advantage knowing that this guy just is struggling across the board. So you have these things in the back of your mind and you try to make adjustments as you can along the way.
What have you seen? We saw two really spectacular starts in this, in Logan's best start of the season in the series. George Kirby now has back-to-back starts of 7 2/3 or more when a complete game before lost because the offense was absent. But are you looking at Kirby as, we talked at the beginning of the year, who, Wu was the ace last year, who is it this year? And I was saying, I think Kirby's going to have a bounce-back year. He's better than maybe I anticipated he'd be this early. We'll see what it looks like in the end. But what are you seeing from him, and what did you see from Logan in that start?
Yeah, well, Kirby, I think, is continuing to take strides just where he's at from a pitching standpoint. But, you match up with his incredible accuracy, with his experience and knowing how to navigate lineups. It just continues to show that this guy knows how to pitch, and he's really efficient, and he knows how to get outs. And I continue to see a guy that's attacking hitters the right way and not trying to, get out of his or get himself in an uncomfortable position. So I was really, really impressed to see Kirby continue to dominate. And it's so nice when you're pitching 7-8 innings, just giving the bullpen a night off, and it's a really refreshing thing. And then it reverberates within the rotation. You mentioned Gilbert. I mean, what a start I think everyone's been waiting to see from Gilbert in a long time. And, get into that 7th inning. And for me, the one thing that I was most impressed with, especially when you're 80, 90 pitches deep, is, how are the pitches looking? How fast are they are? What is the shape of everything? And the last pitch of the game that he threw was 97. And usually...
By the way, explain shape, because I had somebody texting in the other day going, you guys never explain that. And they hear Ryan Rowland-Smith say it. Explain what that means.
So the shape of the pitch, right? I think that's where it's I'm trying to put it the most simple term here so we don't overwhelm anyone.
You're going to have to dumb it down for me, Charlie.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. It moves from one direction to the other. That's it. No, I'm kidding. But each pitch is going to have, based on how you throw, based on your arm angle, is going to have like a shape profile. And it's going to, imagine like a tail, like a TrackMan, if you will, tail of what the pitch looks like, a digital one from behind it. Like, what is it doing? Where is it moving?
Yeah, and starting out over here. And
there's,
moves,
think about a spectrum of it, too, where you're going to be able to throw ones that are absolutely incredible, where they maybe move a lot and have a lot of depth. And then you may throw ones that don't. So when you look at the shape of a pitch, and as a pitcher, you realize, okay, this is here's my slider. This is the best shape it can be. This is where it needs to be. And then you may throw one off, and you're like, that's not it. So when we talk about shape, we're looking at how do we get to the point where we're throwing the best pitch or best version of that pitch. And when you're fighting your timing, the shapes of your pitches can change. And it may be ever so slightly, you may not even notice it from a fan perspective on TV. You may not say, it looks different tonight. But, as high-level athletes, you can realize these little small things that happen that may throw you off. And as a pitcher, your accuracy is so paramount. And when you're off just by a little bit, that can be the difference between hitting the corner and leaving one over the middle of the plate.
What's a new sort of development as far as pitching goes that you didn't have that you wish you had?
Ooh, that's a good question. What do I wish that I had? I think nowadays reporting and scouting reports and just general game planning, not only just as a team, but it's gone another level from an individual standpoint. So, the idea that, hey, this guy you can throw fastballs up on this guy. He has a tough, but well, who? Like, who can throw a fastball? Is it a guy that throws 91, or is it the Munoz who throws 99? So, I think that's where back in the day the information was maybe a little more generalized towards right-handed and left-handed pitchers and not necessarily specific to you. And that's where the big difference is. It's like, having a full-on, in-depth report of where you're at, what it looks like. You can even add in what the shapes of your pitches have been. You can take all this information and have like a personalized game plan. And I think I never had that. I was, in a lot of ways, you're just going out there and competing. You're like, give me the ball and I'm going to execute and get it done. And you learn a lot of things through experience, success and failure. But, I never had that individualized plan that I think probably would have helped me in situations that I didn't realize,
But the hitters, they have it too, right? It's gotten better for them.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
that's the other thing is on both sides of it. The information is great. It really is valuable to a point, but it can overwhelm you and say, well, what am I trying to do here? How is this information helping me? And then on the other side of it, it's like, well, they know me. The hitters know me. They know my stuff. And, well, okay, so then you get into that weird place mentally where you're like, well, at the end of the day, when you're going, and you know this, when you get on the football field, it's like you're not going to worry about this stuff when you're going out and competing. When the ball snaps or when the ball is in my hand, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. I need to go out and get it done and execute, because the only thing that matters is getting the job done and getting outs as a pitcher. So it's a fascinating thing where the game is now, and I think having to balance the analysis by paralysis. It's just, there's a lot of information out there, and everyone, handles it a little differently. But yeah, I think it would have been helpful for me to have a little bit more of a detailed scouting game plan report for me.
What have you seen out of Emerson Hancock? Because he's been a very pleasant surprise, especially the first two starts. He got touched up a little bit in this last one, but it's funny. We look at the last one and go, it was okay. That's exactly what I was hoping for from him when we talked about him starting the year. It's like, man, give me 5-3, 6-3. Awesome. Keep your team in the game. Give them a chance to win. And we look at that as kind of not the dud, but the obviously the lesser of the three starts. And we talked about that game, and he actually threw out a term I hadn't heard because they were talking about his sweeper. Remember, he had a couple that were like nuke lelouch.
Yeah.
Cleared Cal, it was all the way over. They had a few of them. And he talked about changing his lane, which I'd never heard a pitcher use that word before. I've certainly shape, tunneling, all that. Hadn't heard lane, that he was he basically just like bowling, I guess, looked a few pins over and started it there and then having it end up where he wanted. But what have you seen from him with the tick and velocity, the uptick in velocity, the sweeper, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's continued to be a bright spot in this rotation. And, I think when you look at how he's pitching, and the sweeper to me continues to be the X factor. I feel like it's a pitch that has been so effective at getting guys out, especially right-handed hitters. And it's seemingly when he's really on it, like you mentioned, nuke lelouch, it does have this immense amount of break. And I think that's what makes it so valuable, is that it's not only breaking so much, but it's also breaking very late. So in one way, if you pause the pitch mid, in between where, it's going to arrive to the hitter, it essentially almost hasn't moved. So it looks like a fastball. And I think that's and he has this big horizontal break. It really makes him really effective. So, but, I can't, stress the experience that he's had. I find myself continuing to like this guy because he is doing all the right things in between starts. He's clearly learning from past experiences and applying them to, current games. And I think he realizes he also has a chance to maybe do something special this year and stay in the rotation. I think not Logan. I think he just generally wants to stay in the rotation because it's going to be where he's going to find the most success, I think, in his career.
Yeah, we were talking to Rowland-Smith, and we already sort of exhausted this this conversation, but the six-man rotation, and, he put it pretty clearly that, you got some really good pitchers that you're only going to get 25 appearances from instead of 30. That's but have you seen that happen in Major League Baseball where, teams have had somewhat success as far as a six-man rotation?
Yeah, there's definitely been a little bit of success, but I think it just hasn't been tried enough, And I think to your point of having one less start from your ace and, building up the 5-day rotation just has always made sense. Now, I think the caveat of all of this is is there a way to prove that a 6-man rotation keeps everyone healthier longer? And if instead of 25 starts, or instead of 30 starts, it's 25 starts, but you get 25 awesome starts as opposed to I'm not feeling it today, because as a baseball player, you play so many games. Every game's going to feel a little different. You may not feel on, you may not feel perfect, but would the extra day in the course of 162 games be more valuable? I don't know. I think it's something the Mariners should definitely take a look at, because when you have guys that are performing well in the rotation, eating up innings, it is going to allow you to manage your bullpen better, without a doubt. It's just a matter of making sure that the change isn't too abrupt or weird, because then you talk about off days. You're like, okay, well, that may be a 7-day now. Like, there may be some situations where the 5-day actually makes more sense and keeps guys more fresh, because as a starter, if you actually stretch out to 6 days, then, like I mentioned, if there's an off day, you may go a week without pitching, and that may be too long to kind of stay on that really good track of pitching where, he just went 7 innings. Like, perfect example, Kirby, right? If Kirby is going to continue to throw 7-8 innings, but then they went to a 6-man rotation, and then he's got to wait a week to pitch, does that extra time throw him off his rhythm? I don't know. I think that's the thing that generally teams are more wary of, and I think when you look around the league, 5-man rotation has worked year over year over year, but at some point or another, it's going to be a decision the Mariners have to make, because Hancock continues to pitch well and make advancements in his own career, and it'll be interesting to see what move they make with the eventual return of Bryce Miller.
Well, we were throwing out the hypothetical because we were talking about Bryce Miller, Emerson Hancock. What do you do with those two? The one guy that's not pitching well in the rotation is Luis Castillo. Now, he's typically a slower starter in April, and the weather gets better and all that. We'll see what happens. But we were playing the hypothetical. All right, let's say Hancock continues to roll. He's pitching well. Bryce comes back. He's ready. Let's say Castillo is still scuffling a bit. I don't know if that's going to be 3 more starts, 4 more starts before Bryce is ready to come back. What do you do then? Because, he's the rock. He's your highest paid pitcher. He's the highest paid player on your team annually, I believe, still. Is he a guy that his resume is just so long, you go, he's going to be where we need him to be, we're going to just live with him, let him work it out? Or do you say, it's the one spot that's not producing, we need to address it? How would you handle that, playing out that hypothetical?
Yeah, I think if there is some struggles from Castillo, then it definitely, I think, brings more to the table than you realize. Like, I think, you mentioned the cost. You mentioned Miller, and then the eventual arrival of Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, and just the depth that they have created within the organization. Don't get me wrong, Luis Castillo has been an absolute gem of a pitcher, and he's been such a treat since the Mariners acquired him. I think that's what's been really undervalued in one way, is what he's done, and then how he helps all of the other starters, because he came over here as a pretty well established starting pitcher in the league.
Oh yeah,
and to come into this organization and really kind of be the ace for a minute there, right? He was rolling, and it was pretty fun to watch him pitch when he was throwing those upper 90s. And I think what he does inside that clubhouse, is specifically with the rotation, is he sets the tone, because when you're young, you don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know, and then having a guy like that to be able to bounce ideas off and see how he handles his day-to-day, it can only help these younger guys get there faster, right? It's like, that's the value that isn't on the stat sheet, is his experience, his knowledge, his wisdom, his conversations with his teammates. These are the things that aren't data-driven, but they are valuable because they allow teammates to essentially become better baseball players.
Who's a pitcher that has stood out to you that so far this season? A pitch, or it could be somebody from the bullpen, or a certain pitch that you see a guy throwing that really stands out to you.
Another, interesting. There's a lot of things that I think stand out to me. Mostly good for the most part. But yeah, I think I might have to give it to Kirby. I think he's pitching the way I think he always wanted to pitch, and he's being very efficient, and it almost feels as if his body language and his mentality is there too. I think there's a little step forward that I'm continued to be impressed by. I think that's one guy that as we talked as the season unfolded, was probably flying under the radar. No one was really talking about Kirby. I know if you were, Bob, probably the only one saying, hey, this could be the guy. And you were right. It continues to show what he's done. I think that's where, it's easy to point to the other guys and even some guys in the bullpen. But, yeah, I'm continued to be impressed by George Kirby.
Yeah, quickly, the bullpen. We haven't really spent any time talking about them. What's your takeaway from what you've seen from Ferrer, who's been a new addition, certainly Wilcox? Munoz looked a little shaky that first game back, but it had been 5 days since he pitched, which I thought Ryan used as a great example of, you want to go to a six-man rotation, you see how it can throw guys' rhythm off. And we saw that with Munoz. But just overall, just give me a thought on the pen.
Yeah, I think the pen still has a lot of bright spots. Guys are continuing to look like they're going to get it done, from Spryer to Matt to Brash. And I think Ferrer is another bright spot where, he's coming in these 6th, 7th inning and looking like he's just easy 98. I just feel like he's a guy that maybe is also flying under the radar in the bullpen. And then when you look at the body of work, let's say in July and August, you might oh, this guy's really good, But as a middle reliever, you may not get the love. You may not get that, chance to shine, but you got to come in and get the job done and keep the game close. And I think Ferrer, as a fellow lefty, I'm certainly impressed by his stuff. And I think you'll continue to see him get, more opportunities late in the game, because there's going to be a time or two where it's going to be the 8th inning and they need a double play. Who are you going to call? The best ground ball pitcher in the bullpen.
Yep. CharliesFurbush in with us for the hour talking Mariner baseball. Meanwhile, the big bats are starting to produce. So what could it mean for this Mariners lineup? We'll get into that coming up next. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Seattle Storm cleaned up in the WNBA draft, taking Spanish center Amafam Tiam at number 3 overall, and then acquiring LSU superstar Flau'jae Johnson.
Yeah, I was a baller. She's your modern big man. She can dribble, she can shoot. Flau'jae, low-key, was one of the first real modern athletes to get paid. Man, I know a lot of people focus on the men's game when it comes to that, but Flau'jae needs to be in this conversation too, man. She's a pioneer.
Bump and Stacy, only on Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. One of the best parts of radio is getting to interview a lot of interesting people who are at the very top of their profession. For example, Dr. Robert Meyer. He's a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award, and we spoke about prostate cancer and effective ways to treat a diagnosis. And Dr. Meyer, he said many patients prefer Swedish Cyberknife because all it takes is 5 short treatments, each lasting about 45 minutes. Swedish Cyberknife can treat prostate cancer in only 1 week with minimal interruption to patients' lives and work, and the side effects are minimal compared to other treatments. No surgery, non-invasive, and far less impact on your everyday functions. And Swedish, they've been offering the Cyberknife treatment right here in Seattle for over 10 years and treated over 1,000 prostate cancer patients, some of them listening right now. So if diagnosed with prostate cancer, learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment at swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy 1 Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. That light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Opened in 1933, our family is still here, doing the right thing for your family.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pre-game at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got CharliesFurbush in for the hour with us, as we do each and every week, talking Mariner baseball. You guys can text in at 866-979-3776. Seeing those guys in the middle of the lineup come through, specifically Julio and Naylor, neither of which had an extra base hit entering this series. Then we saw Julio with a double, followed that with a home run in the same game. Now he's got 4-game hit streak, 3 games in a row with multiple hits. We saw Naylor yesterday, who did not have an extra base hit on the season. Then he hits 2 home runs, drives in 5. Do you look at that as, all right, this is going to help them turn the corner? They're going to, now they breathe. Now the shoulders come down a little bit and they relax a bit. Or is it, well, you did it against some questionable pitching, so we need to wait and see?
Yeah, I think I'm more on the, this is exactly what the team needed. They needed this to build some confidence, to get it back on track. And as the season starts, like, no, I know for a fact no one is panicking in that clubhouse. No one is panicking. And everyone knows that, yeah, you're going to run into a start or a stretch or two where things aren't going to go well. And fortunately for the Mariners, it just happened with a chunk of players early in the season, and it just kind of looked a little ugly there from time to time. But I start seeing some good at bats, some adjustments being made. I mean, you talk about Julio putting his bat on his shoulder and having a little bit of different approach, and then Naylor with the leg kick yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I think it just shows like, okay, well, as your career advances, you're going to have to make adjustments. And if there are little things you can do to try and get yourself back on track, it may not look like that the whole season, but it was certainly such a bright spot, because I think we were all sitting here going, when is the offense just going to look like an offense, right? I think that's what was so difficult. It's hard to win baseball games, and the Mariners did a good job of hanging in there and actually winning games when the bottom of the lineup is doing all the run scoring, right? And you're looking at the core guys kind of just not getting it done. But, as the series unfolded, it was just, I was like, this is exactly what the team needs at the perfect time to kind of, I think, get the engine started and really, put it into drive and say, all right, now you guys are comfortable. Now you've gotten enough at-bats under your belt. It's you're settled in, you've moved into your places, and there's so many things that happen at the beginning of the season. So if they're, and then you mentioned the World Baseball Classic, and if that threw anyone off from a just getting ready standpoint, now it feels like, all right, finally the team's starting to click. Things are starting to look good. So as much as I don't want to, give Houston any credit, if you will, like, I think the Mariners deserve more credit for going out there and getting it done at a really, really crucial part, because I think if you sit here and say you lost that series, then we're sitting here talking, going, whoa, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So it was really, really a bright thing to see this weekend, and I do think it's going to, stretch into the series here this against San Diego.
Do you hate the Astros as much as Bob does?
I don't know if I hate him as much, but I did appreciate when we were, hanging out at the game here a couple days ago. He's like, yeah, well, they're the Lastros, dude. They're the Lastros.
You said Lastros?
Was that you, or was that someone else?
I didn't say that.
Oh,
it
it
doesn't
wasn't
sound
you.
like a Bob Stelton
No.
comment.
No, it doesn't? Okay. So I heard it, but I thought it was pretty clever.
I was just
left coast.
But it used to be the Trastros.
Yeah.
Now it's the Astros.
I was just taking great pride in every fan that attended a game during that series that let Altuve and Correa just hear it the entire time. I felt like a proud papa.
Is Altuve your most hated?
Anybody associated with that whole cheating scandal.
Wow,
And they're the
okay.
two remaining faces.
Yeah,
on
but
that
he
team.
really hates Altuve. Yeah,
Baseball. I don't want anything bad to happen to those guys, but on the field, can't stand them.
Okay.
And we had this rare moment from Correa at the end of the game yesterday where I kind of had to respect him, because the reporter was asking him about, hey, all these injuries you guys have obviously have impacted, like trying to give him an out. And he said, I don't want to hear about injuries. We're just playing crappy baseball, but he didn't use that word. And I was like, good on you.
There was a lot of respect for that comment, really, and felt dirty.
Yeah, because he's like, look, we have the talent here. We are better than what we do. I mean, they went 1-9 on that road trip. So I had a brief moment of respect, and I felt a little dirty about it, and I had to shower. But I detest that team and their fans and everything about them, really.
I get it. They have been a thorn in the Mariners' side for a long time. So hopefully this is the, changing of the guards here. It's going to be the Mariners' turn to run the AL West for the next 10 years. What do you say? I think that'd be a great sight to see, right? Just put a bunch of banners up and say, ain't going to happen, Houston.
Yeah. Well, and maybe we'll be the team that everybody hates. That's a good sign. Right?
Well, absolutely a good sign. Yeah. And it makes it uncomfortable, hopefully, to play in T-Mobile with everyone showing up.
And hopefully they hate you for the right reasons, because you're good, not because you cheated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Distinct difference.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time that comes up, and especially as a pitcher, yesterday it came up. I was having a conversation with, somebody in another market, and we were talking about the whole thing about the banging of the trash cans and everything, and how that's the biggest secret in sports in any sport, which pitch is coming next. What are you going to get? Because if you look at like football, basketball, they're going to run a certain play. It's not really the same. Remember, we were talking to Marco Gonzalez one time, and he's like, yeah, I don't have, a fastball that's, high 90s. So for me, it's everything. It's everything that what's coming. I just sort of hammering home how bad that cheating scandal was. Because I heard somebody talking about the Astros today. I think it was Brian Kenny. And he's like, I know there was some controversy during that, 2019 season. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, that was a huge deal, right?
Huge
and as
deal.
a pitcher,
yeah.
I mean, you.
Well, I think there's a couple things, right? As a pitcher, for sure, I would rather, I've said it time and time again, I'd rather face a guy or a lineup full of guys on steroids than a lineup full of everyone knows what I'm pitching, So
which pitch is coming?
Yeah, it's really, I think, unfortunate that it happened. Secondly, I think the other thing that I think probably makes Bob hate him even more is that they all got away with it, man. Like there was no one.
Yeah,
they didn't. And MLB was like, we just want to find out about it. Just tell us everything that happened.
Not a
and
penny of a fine, not a moment of suspension. The organization paid a fine. The players,
right?
Nothing.
And the pandemic came the next year, so
they didn't have to face the wrath of the baseball fan bases around the country.
Well, they feel it. They get booed here pretty heavily in Seattle, and they get booed in a lot of other places. So I think
Springer
the fans
still gets it everywhere.
The fans, haven't forgotten about it, and because it was one of, if not the worst scandals that's kind of existed in baseball.
Do you think if like Altuve and Correa came out, this is more a question for Bob, and just said, hey, man, I'll wear it, that was wrong.
If they did that in the beginning?
Would you forgive him? No, if they did it now.
Oh, no, it's too late.
It's too late.
Because that was, for me, almost a bigger reason that I hated how they handled it. They were just so put upon, and Correa was out there going, all right, enough.
Yeah, don't
whining about it. I'm like,
yeah.
You're not playing in front of any fans. You've heard, what do you mean enough? And Bregman, he smirked when he's like, I guess we're sorry. I was like, ugh.
Well, Dusty Baker even.
Well, then he came in the next year and said, think about the children. And I'm like, could you guys collectively handle this worse?
I think that, sometimes we need to look at ourselves before you spew hate on somebody else. Like I said, it's a sad, situation for America to me. When you hear things, I mean, what are the kids supposed to think in the stands, or, and then.
And I love Dusty Baker, but dude, shut up.
Well, especially because they got away with it, right? Now, why not come out and be more forthcoming and own it? I think that it would gain so much more respect across the board, being like, okay, this is what happened. We made a bad decision, but we just want to come clean. I'm not looking for, any sort of, hey, I want you to look at me any different. But I think from the transparency standpoint, like, I still think there's like, okay, well, everyone's like, what happened again? Wait a minute, how did this work? So yeah, it's such a bad look. And yeah, it changes everything. And if you look at it, I would argue that it arguably changed a handful of pitchers' careers, right? Like a pitcher went up there that was playing in a game thinking that, hey, I'm on a run, I'm gonna figure this out, I'm gonna try and stay in the big leagues. Then they go to Houston and then give up 6 runs, and you're like, it just felt like they were on everything.
They knew what was coming.
Well, they knew it was coming. So I think in that sense, it really took guys a chance at extending their careers away, and that sucks.
I never thought about it that way. That makes it
even worse.
The hatred is not going to die anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
I know that.
And they won a World Series on
it.
top of it.
Right.
Then they win the World Series that year. So Dodger fans really hate them because of that.
But I mean, if you're ruining somebody's career because of that too, I never even considered that.
Because if you're in a 3-game series and you end up pitching twice and they rock you, and you end up being in that situation where, game got out of the hand, I got to send you down to AAA and get a new guy up, and then you never make it back.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible, right? And then you're sitting at home being like, just like Bob, these stupid Astros, man.
Exactly right. That's how everybody should be. All right. What will be the keys to the Mariners keeping this win streak going tonight when they start their series with the Padres? We'll dive into that next. CharliesFurbush in. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Trident's up and brooms up.
They get the mop, they get the sweep.
Swung on. Laser. Has he done it again? Josh Naylor. Lightning strikes twice.
After the Mariners sweep the division rival Astros, it's back on the road for a brief 3-gamer in San Diego. Mariners Padres. First pitch at 6:40. 5:30 pregame. Tonight, get every pitch of every game all with one app. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins. I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. And even broken and used jewelry can go for a lot of money. And the folks at Bellevue Rare Coins, they had a customer recently stop by on her way to donating her items, and then she heard an ad on the radio and said, what the heck, let's see, what it's worth. And she walked out of Bellevue Rare Coins with thousands of dollars. And Bellevue Rare Coins has expanded to Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, a local established business known for honesty, no pressure evaluations, and helping you get the most for your valuables. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable some of these items are. It's worth stopping in to find out. So you can find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Let Olympic help you create the ultimate home contrast therapy studio. Pair a relaxing Tilo sauna with our revitalizing Vigor cold plunge. Save up to $5,000 when you buy both. These massive savings end April 30th.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest. Come with no charge.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Hey! Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text TIP to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text TIP to 215-215. That's TIP to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet.
That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays, 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got CharliesFurbush in studio with us as we do each and every week. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. This next run is going to be really, really a good measuring stick for the Mariners because you're going up against the San Diego Padres, who, if we're just going by streaks, they're the hottest team in baseball. They've won 5 in a row. They're 10-6. They've won 8 of 10. So they're rolling right now. Then you face the team that you looked horrible against, the Texas Rangers. You scored 3 runs in 3 games against the Rangers, and in the last game, you were shut out and you had 2 hits. It was dreadful. So I'm curious, everybody's feeling good about what we saw against the Astros. Do you believe in momentum? Do you believe in carryover, that we're going to see something better? I don't know if they're going to win the series against the Padres or not, but it'd be nice to go into that Rangers series with some momentum. Being an obviously National League team, these wins count certainly, but you're facing your division rivals after that with the Rangers, followed by the A's, who are playing well.
Yeah, I am in full belief momentum is here, and the Mariners, have it. I think this 4-game sweep really brings it out, and I would not be surprised. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they're, first inning, second inning runs from the Mariners like tonight. Like they're going to come out firing and get some runs going, and I think that's where like I said these past few weeks, this team can be extremely dangerous if the offense is clicking, and if this is the version of the offense we know and expect, then the pitchers continue to do what they do. This just looks like a repeat of last year, just series win, and continue to have great outings night after night. So I'm in full belief that this is exactly what the team needed. Momentum does get built, and obviously there's a tough test coming up with the Padres and the Rangers, but this is a chance for the Mariners to continue to do what they're capable of doing, and I'm in full belief that it's going to start tonight.
You just blew my mind in the previous segment.
Let's go.
Talking about the fact that there were guys that didn't extend their career because they're pitchers that could have extended their career, but because the Astros were cheating. And it's lit up the text toy here also. Lots of hatred.
Good.
We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going the whole year.
That's right.
Definitely.
Why not?
Hey, did you say anything special out of the Rangers rotation that was like, this, or is it more the futility of our bats?
I mean, Jacob deGrom is really good.
Yeah.
So it's like, can't really, that's going to be a tough matchup. Every time you face him. But I think that's the same thing. It just felt like the Mariners were just in a little rut offensively that I'm not necessarily giving the Rangers all the credit in terms of their pitching staff. Yes, it's strong, and they did do a good job of navigating the Mariners lineup, but I think if you put this lineup as in yesterday, against the Rangers, it's a different outcome. I do. I don't think that the pitching staff of the Rangers was that dominant. I think there were more opportunities, and let's call it opportunities missed, offensively speaking, that they didn't take advantage of. So, I think it'll be interesting to see. It's always fun in that early part of the year where you play a team on the road and then you play them at home, and you get this kind of like pretty quick test of where you're at, where they're at, and It's always fun to match up with the division rivals that way. But yeah, when you look at Texas, I'd say still they're like the wild card team of, I don't know who they are quite yet. Are they really that good, or are they just kind of on a decent April stretch right now?
Yeah, it's going to be – this division is going to be interesting just because at the very beginning we talked about, obviously, the Mariners are the favorites. The A's were the team I heard about the second most, like nationally. All the analysts picked the Mariners to win the division. I heard a lot about, this might be a step back year for Houston. Texas was kind of an unknown because of their offense one year, but they got this pitching, and we'll see ultimately what it plays out. I don't have a gauge on the A's yet because, to me, the question mark was their rotation. They got a lot of young talent in that lineup, with Kurtz and Wilson and Butler and Rooker when he's healthy, and there's a lot there to be leery of. Pitching-wise, they've been a little better than I thought, and I know it's early. But
they're not going to be able to survive Sacramento in the summer, man. Like, it's not a good place to pitch. I just don't see them having that much talent to really say, oh, I think that's the allure right now. It's like, okay, Kurtz has this phenomenal rookie season, unbelievable. Jacob Wilson looking really, really strong. And then they go out and they sign a couple guys, right? Yeah. I think that you look at on paper, yes, they look like they're doing the right things to improve their ball club, but I think it's going to be a really tough challenge playing in Sacramento in the summer and having to expect that your pitchers are going to be dialed in. And not to say that they can't do it, but I just don't expect or see even the potential of the A's being that good to be any sort of issue against the Mariners.
So just go into a little bit more depth pitching in Sacramento. What just the heat?
Heat, ball flies there. It's thin air. It's not a good place to pitch. And as you saw, like even offensively speaking from the A's last year, they scored a lot of runs. They did a lot of good things offensively, and that's what everyone kind of continues to pinpoint is their pitching. Their pitching isn't good enough. Well, their offense is really good, right? They did some good things, but I think it's really difficult. And you just look at, Sacramento and just the, in the minor leagues, the entire Pacific Coast League. It is a hitter-friendly league where you're going to get warm days. The air is thin. There'll be some windy days. You're going to have fly balls turned into home runs. And I think that's what you saw a little bit in Sacramento last year with the A's. Like there are a couple situations where they hit some balls that I was like, oh, that went out? That went out? Yeah. So I just, you put that up in the Pacific Northwest. That ain't going out.
Yeah. Charlie, you did it again. How do you feel? Feel like it was a good appearance for you?
I think I got some work to do, as always.
Go back.
Yeah.
Look at the film.
Yeah. A couple things I could have said it a little cleaner, but it's all about moving forward and taking the good with the bad and knowing that tomorrow's a new day. You can do something special.
You blew my mind.
Let's go
with that new bit of information.
Well, that's going to be my goal every week. How can I blow your mind, Dave?
There you go.
And they set the bar high.
That's right.
Set the bar high.
We'll continue hating on the Astros just for you.
That's right. Hey, we got more matchups against them this year. Plenty of time to spread that hate.
Perfect.
Charlie, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
That's CharliesFurbush. He's with us each and every week, spends an hour in studio with us. If you missed any part of it, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, the sports calendar is starting to kick into high gear. We'll talk to El Hombre, Michael Bradley, about everything going on in the world of sports. That's coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Next Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Heward, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Hey, are you in pain or have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? How about you, Bob? Have you considered that?
Not joint replacement, but I was in pain for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a situation where I had, abused myself with 14 years of jiu-jitsu, not karate, Dave.
Yeah.
And, I thought I was looking at surgery. But then I remembered, oh, yeah, Dave's been talking to all these people, talking about Dr. Wagner and that 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure. And
you finally listened.
I did. This is the one time I did listen to Dave.
That's right.
and I went to see him, and it's been an absolute game changer.
Yeah, I've heard so many patients, including you, Bob, rave about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner.
Yeah, Dr. Wagner is the most experienced in the Northwest. He's a board-certified physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures.
Yeah, and Dr. Wagner only uses your own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in your own joints. And people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone-on-bone, are back doing what they enjoy, things like karate, without pain and without surgery.
Oh, thank God for karate. Whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, knee, elbow, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first.
Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Want more control over your kitchen? Chef Store makes it easier to buy once and stay stocked longer. Find big value in fresh proteins, seasonal produce, freezer favorites, and more. Open to the public, no membership required. Chef Store. Get more, save bigger.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners feeling good after a 4-game sweep of the Houston Astros. Now they take to the road to face one of the hottest teams in baseball, certainly in the National League. The San Diego Padres have won 5 in a row, 8 of 10, and they play host to the Mariners. Game 1 coming your way tonight. Mariners send Brian Wu to the hill. He faces off against Michael King. You can catch it all right here starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 710. Game's going on right now. Diamondbacks up on the Orioles 3-2 in the top of the 5th. It's the Phillies up 3-2 on the Cubs. That one in the top of the 5th as well. Top of the 6th in Detroit. Royals up 1-0 on the Tigers. It's 2-1 with the Reds up on the Giants in the bottom of the 5th. The top of the 4th in Pittsburgh. Pirates trailing the Nationals 4-1. They're in the top of the 4th in New York with the Angels up 3-0 on the Yankees. Marlins up 4-1 on the Braves in the top of the 3rd. It's the Twins up on the Red Sox 1-0 in the top of the 2nd. And the Rays jump out to a 3-0 lead on the White Sox. That one in the bottom of the 1st.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Yeah, you know what you can get me, Pee-wee? What? El Hombre.
That was a catastrophe.
I know.
That's a new low.
Yeah.
Roz is better.
El Hombre.
The natural meets Rudy meets. I don't even know how to describe it. El Hombre.
Here he is, everybody. We look forward to it each and every Tuesday at 5 o'clock, bringing in this man on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, the one, the only El Hombre. Michael Bradley is here. How are you, man?
What's happening, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm great. Is Dave back from his two weeks off or whatever he had? Walkabout or whatever?
You missed me.
Walkabout.
You missed me. No, I went.
Yeah, I was, last week was a little interesting.
Kind of.
I don't think either one of us were here when
El
Hombre was here last
I know.
week.
Yeah.
The people you were talking to were probably in a state of shock going, why is this guy so mad at everybody?
That is not the case. I'm a man who loves people.
Yeah, that's right. How are Philly fans feeling about their 8-8 start to the season right now?
Oh, yeah, we're just delighted. You know, we just like the opportunity to watch our favorite ball team. Oh, seriously, is it 3-3 now? You stink. It's just a chance to go out to the ballpark and enjoy a cold one and a Frankfurter and just enjoy the national pastime.
Where are you at on the ABS? I love it personally, but where are you at?
Love it. Could not love it more. And I want it to go the whole way. I want robot umpires. I no longer want the knuckleheads behind the plate calling balls and strikes. They put a little thing in their ear. They hear whether it's a ball or a strike. They call it. Let's get it right every time. And I argue with people all the time. Oh, the human element. And as I said before, the human element is when the shortstop botches a throw to first base. That's the human element. These are the guys who are playing the game. They're going to make errors. They cannot be perfect. The umpires should not get it wrong. If it's a game involving people. No, if the people play, the umpires have to be right.
Well, and also people invent the system, the ABS system, right? So, that if you can get it right, in other words, if you can get it right every time, then why not use it?
And it's so quick.
Nobody complains in tennis when they show the thing about the ball being out or in.
No. Yeah,
nobody
you're
complains in soccer when it's a goal. Now, sometimes they got some problems with that VAR thing that they're using because it doesn't always, it's sometimes very difficult to tell. But I'll tell you, it's really good when you get it right. And that's what's happening with these balls and strikes calls. We need to have more challenges. We need to have it be completely automated.
I wonder if you went back in the history of like the NFL in particular, like some of the great plays might be taken away, right? By he was.
How about
ruled
the Music
in.
City Miracle?
Yeah,
that thing was a forward pass for Pete's sake. And by the way, my nephew was working as an equipment manager for the Eagles for a season. He said the chip is already in the ball. The technology exists to tell whether it's a touchdown, et cetera, or not. They're just not ready to do it. And so last year we went with the automated first downs. We're going to take baby steps. As I said before in this program, you went back to the year 11-18 with a cigarette lighter you'd be burned at the stake as a witch.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. I'm worried about you, though. You just called it a program.
I didn't say program.
You didn't say program.
I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
We're just looking for consistency here.
I understand. Yeah, you guys are looking for consistency.
Yeah, right. Hey, tell us about Jalen Hurts. I just, I've never really thought anything but just I always speak of him in glowing terms, in other words. I mean, I just think he's a great leader. We talked about how the last time that, it was a couple of years ago where they were complaining that he was being too careful with the football. Like, he's so deathly afraid of throwing an interception or turning the ball over. And, I could see some complaints. I saw, in that San Francisco playoff game, he kind of left the pocket early a little bit. But as far as like his character and everything, it just seems to always have been on point. But, what are some of the problems as are related to Jalen Hurts there in Philly?
There's an awful lot to unpack here, beginning with the fact that he's had a new offensive coordinator pretty much every season he's been with the team.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Last year, the ESPN report that came out said that last year there were problems with him in terms of not wanting to play under center because he didn't want to turn his back to the defense. You could see with the offensive line, which was compromised by injury and a crappy right guard, that as soon as there was pressure up the middle, he was gone. He wasn't about to step up in the pocket. He wasn't about to take the hit. He was out and going, which immediately cuts off half the field for you to be able to throw to. The last year they didn't have the ground game that they had in the 2024 season, and that made a huge difference because that meant he had to throw the ball more often, and he's not a great pocket passer, period.
Mm-hmm.
He makes great plays to win games. He can make some big throws. He has made big throws. He should have been, he was a Super Bowl MVP. He could have been the Super Bowl MVP of the game they lost in Chiefs. He has had some great games. So the people who say, oh, he stinks, blah, blah, they're knuckleheads. Yeah. But he does have some shortcomings. And what this new offensive coordinator is going to have to find is how do you maximize his talents? How do you get the running game going again? And also, are you able to relate to him in a way that he doesn't try to take over the offense and limit what you're doing by saying, I won't do X, I won't do Y?
The only person out there saying he stinks is A.J. Brown. So you're
well, and look, AJ, the Eagles keep accumulating new wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
They traded for a guy from Green Bay. They got Hollywood Brown, and they're probably going to draft one. They've got 4 picks in the top 100, so there's a chance that they'll take one. If you're looking at the Eagles draft, and I know you guys are interested in what the Seahawks are going to do, but if they don't take sort of among those four picks in some order, offensive lineman, edge rusher, a tight end, and wide receiver, or defensive back instead of the tight end, then they're crazy. But if they draft another wide receiver, you can pretty much say goodbye to A.J. Brown, and it won't be till after June 1st because his cap hit goes way down. The other thing about Hurts is his contract, the big money in it either goes away after this season or next season. So he's thinking about his next contract. And in order to get another big contract, you better be able to stand up, right? And if you're sitting back there getting hammered in the pocket and getting hurt, you're not going to get that next big contract. And I think that's in the back of his mind.
Hey, we've talked about the NFL playing their games abroad, and they want to dominate the entire world. And Roger Goodell was asked about they're playing. He was out there promoting the game between the Niners and the Rams in Australia this year, and making it very clear this is not a one-off. I want to play this for you and get your reaction.
Well, we always like to say we're going to play and then we'll announce, but there's no question that we're going to be playing here again. Our view is that we're coming here for the long term. We don't come as a one-off. This isn't a circus. This is something that's an investment in this market, and we believe that this is long term, and will be great for the NFL long term.
Does that mean 2027?
It might.
So their motivation is clear. I know they want to dominate. They want to make the beast even bigger, make even more money. Certainly understand why. But what do you think the end game is, Michael? What does it look like a football season, I don't know, 10 years from now? Are we looking at every single team in the league playing a fourth of their home games will be abroad somewhere? They'll be somewhere outside of the country. Every team will be obligated to play 4 home games, and one in Mexico, one in London, one in Australia. Or what do you think the ultimate goal is for the NFL as they see it right now?
If you look 10 years down the line, I think, first of all, the ultimate goal is to have games on every night but maybe Tuesday. All right, they're going to have a Thanksgiving Eve game this year. So I think the first thing is, I think they want to play Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, Sunday. I think they want to do that. I think they're in the back of their minds. They're still toying with an idea. Can they put a 4-team division in Europe? Right, London, a couple German teams, maybe Barcelona. Yeah. They're not ever going to supplant the English Premier League or Serie A in Italy or the Spanish league. They're never going to supplant that. What they want to do is continue to have programming that is available that they can sell. Right now, they're trying to sell a 5-game package. Okay, it's going to be the Thanksgiving Eve game. It's going to be another Black Friday game. It's going to be a Christmas Eve game. It's going to be whatever. And they're trying to sell it to the highest bidder. In other words, they're going to try to get between $500 and $600 million for it. And Fox and CBS are saying, hey, you better not go too quickly to streaming, because if you start taking away stuff from broadcast television, we're going to call our buddies in the Department of Justice, because Murdoch and Larry Ellison are big friends of Donald Trump, and say we're going to launch an investigation into your antitrust exemption because you're trying to take away games from the ordinary people. The NFL doesn't want that. They need that antitrust exemption. That's how Green Bay and New York continue to compete against each other. So I think what they're trying to do is get as much different programming that they can sell, whether it's a one-off like the Australian game or it's a package of 5 games at different times, that they can continue to maximize their revenues. That's what the goal is.
Hey, by the way, do you have a nickname for Roger Goodell?
Yeah, he's the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. There we go. That's
right. You rarely see him.
But
yeah.
you know Dave's all-time favorite nickname that you've given somebody?
Oh, False Face.
No. Ruin Tomorrow.
Ruin Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I knew him at Stanford. Yeah. He was Ruin Tomorrow. That is very creative. I love that one. Love that one. Yeah, I mean,
go on.
What do you
really go on?
No, but I don't know. What about, taking home games away? We always talk about what would bring the NFL down, what would make it not as wildly popular as it is. If they start taking home games away, maybe, do you think that they're getting a little bit too aggressive doing that and not thinking about the market that they have here in the U.S.?
Well, I don't know what the take for an average NFL team on a home game is, between tickets and concessions and parking and merchandise sales and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if they're able to say, we're going to take a 10 to 15 game international plan, and we're going to take a 5-game one-off plan, we're going to sell that for $600 million. We're going to sell the 10 to 15 international games for $1.5 billion. And they say to the teams, we're going to be dividing up another $2 billion among the 32 teams. Wow. Okay? Yeah. I'm not a mathematician, but that comes out to a lot. So it's possible that they're saying, we're going to make you more money by going on the road to Australia or, India or Kazakhstan or wherever we're going to play. And we're going to say, we're going to pay you even more. So you may lose a home game, but your bottom line is going to be more robust.
Michael, this is a little outside of what we normally hit, but I'm just curious to get your take on this whole Vrabel, Diana Rossini thing that went on. She resigned from The Athletic today. But I don't know. What's your reaction to all that? Is this just salacious nonsense? Do you think this is putting the integrity of The Athletic in question? Certainly. Does Vrabel pay any price for that? How do you view this whole thing?
Well, look, by her resigning, it's possible that The Athletic is going to stop the investigation it was going to do, which is a very good move for The Athletic and for Diana Rossini. If she was able to say to them, look, I'll step out gracefully before the end of my contract, which was June 30th, and then say, then you guys are going to say, we're not going to investigate any further. So her name isn't dragged through, and it's still now speculation. That's a win-win, right? From the point of view of, are they having an affair? I don't care.
Right.
That's the part I'm not. That's something that we don't care about.
Yeah, I'm with
what
you.
What you're curious about, though, is what is he feeding her in terms of news, and what in return is she promising him? And I saw Skip Bayless talking about, when he was a columnist, how he had a player say to him, "If you can call me anytime you want, and I'll give you whatever you want, some little scoops, and maybe now and then some big stuff. But in return, you got to kind of treat me right when you're right about me. If I have a bad game, kind of minimize it. You're not going to come out and say, boy, this guy's not playing well." those are the deals that some reporters make with their sources. Who knows what Adam Schefter's doing? Adam Schefter gets a lot of scoops, and a lot of scoops people think from the agent Drew Rosenhaus. Mm-hmm. Is he promising in return for those scoops that he takes it easy on some of Rosenhaus's clients? I don't know.
Yeah, well, in Schefter's case, he never offers opinion on people. He's not writing an editorial or anything.
No, he's not. But they ask him about stuff. He offers some news, and he could be protecting his sources and their clients. But my point is with the Rossini Rabel thing is she's been talking a lot about A.J. Brown. Is there something that she's doing there to try to make it so that A.J. Brown ends up with the Patriots? Is she trying to kind of create an environment where that happens? I don't know. So there's an awful lot that is from a journalistic standpoint that is unethical. Even if they're just friends, sitting in a hot tub with somebody you cover is not a good look. Period. Now, the fact that she's a woman and it's a guy, there's the double standard, right? If it's two guys having lunch or two guys having a bro hug or something, then it's like, they're just maybe it's a little too close, but we're not going to say they're having an affair, right? So there's that. Rabel, if he's using her as a conduit for information, he's got some explaining to do too. So it's a messy situation, and what it's doing is kind of drawing back the curtain a little bit on how these reporters do their business. How close, and look, NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, CBS, NBC, they're all in bed with the NFL. They're not reporting what really goes on in the league. They're not talking about this stuff. Have you seen this on any of their shows?
No.
Maybe on the First Take or those knucklehead kind of shows. They're not talking about it on SportsCenter. They're trying to protect the shield. So now she works for The Athletic, which is the sports arm of the New York Times. One would imagine there's some journalistic standards that they're hoping to uphold. But this is a big mess.
All right, this is going to be a weird transition right here, but I'm going to ask you, because I had it written down, who is your favorite athlete of all time?
Gary Maddox, center fielder, number 31 for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Did you get a chance to talk to him, and is it also because he's a good dude, or is it just because...
No, I just loved him as a player growing up. I will say this: one time I'm at the farmer's market near my house at the seafood counter a couple of days before Christmas, picking up some shrimp, and he's standing in front of me. Now I don't know it's Gary Maddox. I don't see his face, but I can tell from his body type, the way he looks from behind, it's Gary Maddox. And I said, Gary, and he turned around with a big smile on his face, thinking a friend was hailing him, and then he looked down at me and was disappointed. And I just said, hey, just wanted to tell you, really big fan. Merry Christmas or whatever.
Yeah,
that's as close as I've come. I never interviewed him. I never really had any interaction with him. But I just loved him as a player. Loved the way he played defense. He hit 300 twice. And just a giant fan of Gary Maddox.
Well, and you did that in a very classy way. That was the right move there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
I'm not going to say, hey Gary, can I get a photo? Can I get a whatever?
Yeah. Exactly.
Ichiro is high on your list, yeah?
Love Ichiro. Franco Harris is is my favorite football player of all time.
Another Seahawks running back.
Yes, that's what he's known for. Favorite basketball player of all time is Darryl Dawkins.
Oh, yes, Chocolate Thunder.
And I was driving up the New Jersey Turnpike one time, and all of a sudden I drive next. I'm in the fast lane, and in the middle lane is a chocolate brown Mercedes, and I look over in the driver's seat, and I don't see anybody. Then I look in the back driver's seat, and there's Darryl Dawkins. He's got the seat pushed so far back because he's 6'11", he's basically driving in the back seat. So he looks at me and smiles because I smile at him, and I take off. He catches up to me, smiles, and then he takes off. We do this for about 15 miles on the Jersey Turnpike, going about 90 to 95 miles an hour passing each other until he finally tired of it and just hit the gas and went past it. But that was a lot of fun.
That's funny.
Did you see the unveiling of the Ichiro statue?
I did. It's great.
So you saw the bat break?
Yes. Anything positive about Ichiro, I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was everybody's pointing to the fact, well, they're undefeated since the bat break. So
yeah,
there you go. It's good luck.
Yeah, it was.
And you swept the Astros, which had to make you happy, Bob.
I mean, it was
delighted.
It was like a second Christmas for me, really. And what I love, and I've been saying this all day, kind of jokingly, but I'm sort of serious too, is I was just proud of the fan base because every time Altuve and Correa stepped up to the plate, that building just rained boos over them. Just let them hear it.
Nice. Good. Was it Philadelphia worthy? Was it worthy boos?
Yes.
Loud enough?
There wasn't even that many people there, and Bob was like a proud papa.
I was so proud, Michael.
He's kept that hatred alive.
So proud. Keep hate alive.
Good.
And
Hey, you got to.
Yeah, packed buildings the first 3 games. Yesterday it was a little light. I mean, it's a Monday afternoon game, so it was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But even those guys, even everybody there yesterday, let him hear it. It was delightful, and I just love it's not just Seattle because those guys hear it around the league, and Springer hears it. You know, with the Blue Jays, and they hear it in L.A. Certainly Dodger fans. It's not lost on them since they lost the World Series that year. So, yeah, I love it. I love it.
And it's great that you're keeping that animosity alive, which leads me to one of my favorite jokes. What's the definition of Sicilian Alzheimer's?
What's that?
You forget everything but the grudges.
That's right. Love it. That's good. Nice. Michael, as always, great stuff. You find him here every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. You find him on Twitter at Daily Hombre. At Daily Hombre on Twitter. Michael, have a great week. We'll do it again next week.
So long, suckers.
There he goes, everybody.
I broke down and saw a picture of him because I said I don't even want to know what he looks like until.
Well, I showed you a couple. Remember in his uniform?
Yeah, so this was maybe before that, and I couldn't keep my promise that he was gonna remain faceless to me. But
how far off was he from what you pictured him looking like?
It was pretty close.
Was it?
Yeah, pretty close.
Because he always makes reference to his size and everything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You were under no illusion that he was 6'4", 250.
No, definitely not.
But he's got a 6'4", 250 attitude.
That's right.
That's what makes him great. All right, we got the Mariners taking on the Padres. Game 1 from San Diego. Brian Wu on the hill. Pregame show coming your way in a matter of moments. Our thanks to Ryan Rowland-Smith, CharliesFurbush, and El Hombre, Michael Bradley. If you guys missed any part of today's show, you can find it on the podcast page. Just go to seattlesports.com, click the podcast tab, click on our picture, and it's right there waiting for you after the show each and every night. Click subscribe. It's free. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob.
Trident's up and brooms up.
They get the mop, they get the sweep.
Swung on. Lasered. Has he done it again? Josh Naylor. Lightning strikes twice.
After the Mariners sweep the division rival Astros, it's back on the road for a brief 3-gamer in San Diego. Mariners, Padres. First pitch at 6:40. 5:30 pregame. Tonight, get every pitch of every game all with one app. The Seattle Sports app.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
If you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact, if you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Imagine all that can happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes are going to come out, but what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price never changed for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most. That finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings attached. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet's going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, all with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions do apply. Select plans only.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis.